every year we come in the season, we have agendas. Everyone likes to pretend they're not biased. We are very biased, and we don't run away from it. Everybody has them. And there's players that we're really high on, players we're really low on. And as soon as somebody comes out and meets our expectations and is great when we say they are, we're always the fastest to run a victory lap and say, I told you Franz Wagner was going to be a star. I told you so-and-so was going to do great. Today we're going to talk about players who have been incredibly disappointing, players that we expected a lot from and have done the opposite this year. Just players that aren't having a great season.
Incredibly disappointing. Not just mildly disappointed. Not just like, it's been a few bad games. Just they've just been stinking it up. That level of bad.
Yep.
Okay.
And the title of the episode is every NBA team's most disappointing player this season. So some of them will be that. Some of them will be incredibly disappointing. Some will be just a little bit with some context and so on. But we're going to go through every single team. And if you're watching this and you're a fan of one specific team, we're going to tell you who we think is selling you, who's ruining your team's season, and we'll see if you guys agree.
All right.
Let's get into it, man. Mo, what's on your head? Where you at? What's going on?
You see where I'm at right now? This is what happens.
On the road.
Yeah, when you're on the road and you're trying to get it out the mud and you're trying to do as much as possible to make these crown eaters satisfied with content. This is what it looks like right now.
Yeah, you're reporting from some grandma's basement, wherever you are. We'll figure it out later. If you guys are here, drop a like for Mo to get him back to his home. See if we can get him back across the country. He's stranded right now. And yeah, man. Let's get into the episode.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
We're going to start with probably the guy that I probably put in the thumbnail, probably the guy that has been the biggest talking point over the past week in terms of disappointment. We're going to start with the most disappointing player on the Los Angeles Lakers. This feels weird that I am leading the most disappointing players of the season conversation off with LeBron James.
It's over for you, old man. It's over. I've been waiting on this for 10 years since he was 30.
The fucker can't go on any longer. What's his name on Twitter? Said it when he was 28. 10 years later, Father Time has come to have a little bit of a victory. He hasn't fully won yet. LeBron's not cooked like some people are saying on Twitter. But I think this season, I'm going to pick LeBron as the most disappointing player in the Lakers. And not because it's like his fault, right? We're not saying that he's like a huge disappointment because he's done less than expected of him or whatever. He's just old and finally looking like it. We expected this 3 years ago. And we're finally getting the season where I think it's definitive that he's not a top 10 player right now.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, yeah. I think we're there. We
might be pushing top 15 narratives by the time Christmas comes around. I don't know if LeBron's top 15 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Probably is.
What makes you guys go ahead and say that shit?
Man, where do I begin?
Can't just
I
talk like that about my goddamn king and not back it up with any like real statements or facts.
Okay, so let's talk about the Lakers in general then, right? Because I think obviously the Lakers have been disappointing as of late. They started off as like the goddamn 3 seed. We came up here and did our power rankings. And as a Lakers fan, I said, I'm not ranking them as a top 5 team or anything like that. Despite that placement, they're clearly fake demons. They had a very even 0.2 net rating despite being 10-4 because they were barely beating teams by the slimmest of margins, even though those teams were bad. So I think we saw the writing on the wall. This team's not very good, right? You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw
fake
that.
demons for sure.
For sure. And now the fakeness is just gone, or the demons are gone and they're just trash. They're just bad. And the biggest part of that, obviously we've talked about all season, is their defense is atrocious. They're bottom 5 in defense and have been all season. And a big part of that is LeBron James right now. I think it's clear that his off-ball defense is really bad. And this isn't a team that has a defensive personnel to hide him. In some years past, like maybe 2018 or whatever year it was, he was coached by Ty Lue and had some good defenders around him. He could kind of mail it in at times and then turn it up when necessary. This roster does not allow that when you're starting next to goddamn D'Angelo Russell, Dalton Connect, and Rui Hachimura. 3 bad defenders. So LeBron's bad defense has really shown the team's defense is 6.5 points worse with him on the court right now. Mm-hmm. And that matches the eye test, I think.
Ooh, it's really, really weird. Like, I think, yes, that the defense is bad. We've seen this for about like 6 years now. Like, I would say starting in like 2017, 2018, around that range, you started to really see LeBron like conserve his energy on defense and really like pick his spots. And he was never trash, but you could see like he's not going to go out there and be DPOY, guard your best player, right? Do all that stuff, but he can still turn it up in spurts, obviously.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fact that nobody is a good defender on that team outside of Anthony Davis, and the fact that like you say all the time, AD, one of his biggest faults defensively is that he doesn't get back. And so you have a lot of guys who just don't play defense overall, and then somebody who gets beat in transition defense, and that leads to them getting destroyed by 40 points. Like that.
Pitiful. By the fucking Miami Heat, who stink.
Those performances come to light when you have these. JJ Redick looks like he wants to quit already. He looks like he just can't take it anymore. Just because of how bad they are.
I mentioned defense to start. Defense isn't even the biggest issue. I just want to get that out there first. Their defense sucks. They are running a very switch-heavy scheme that is doing a lot of like instant switching off ball whenever there's anything close to a screen to not let teams even get into the flow of the action, right? They say if you want to run a off-ball screen, if you want to run a backdoor cut, whatever it is, we're going to switch it to not even allow you to create an advantage. That's something a lot of teams have done over the years. But it only works when you have good defenders who have the high enough IQ to make that happen. They have not that. We'll say that. But that's fine. The point of this team coming this season was that they were going to be an offensive-heavy team, right? They started the season off with a 3rd offensive rating. They're down to 7th. And again, this is the first time it's ever happened in LeBron James' career. Not even as a rookie this happened. The team's offense is significantly worse than him on the court. They are currently 13.6 points per 100 possessions worse with LeBron James on the court. Now, that is ridiculous.
Trade him.
It is peak. That's like the Stars have like an offensive rating like 10 points better. To be minus 13 is one of the worst in the entire league. Granted, there's probably some noise there, but he just has not been consistently good. A few games ago, there's a stretch where he missed 24 straight 3-pointers. And we all know at this point of his career, he is extremely reliant on his outside jump shot. Obviously, he's not finishing at the rim like he used to. He misses a lot of bunny layups. He almost never dunks. He really relies on bully ball in the half court and finding shots at the rim in transition. So if his jump shot isn't falling, he looks old as hell, man.
It's so funny because I like over the past couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of people like put massive money on like LeBron 10 points at least in like in the like parlay or whatever, and it's like a thing now where going forward like
it's close.
Like it's not as much of a guarantee as you think that LeBron's just going to show up and get 10 points, especially the way that he's shooting. It's crazy.
I look at this situation and I'm just like, yes, like LeBron looks like he's slowed down a tad bit, but I'm not going to go as far just yet to say he's a top 15 NBA player. Because like the fact of the matter is like if you put him around shit, he's going to look like shit. That's what the Lakers are at this point in time. So it's amplifying and making things way worse.
You're making a good point. He won 24 straight missed threes. That's not going to happen forever, right? He's going to have, that's an aberration. He'll get back to his normal shooting from 3, which will make him look better like he has for the past couple of years where he really relies on that. But the margin for error is so small. If his 3-point shot is not falling, if he has a cold streak like this, life is incredibly difficult for him. Yeah. You know, we talked early in the season about this new JJ Redick offense, the running off of these screens, this high amount of actions. It's so different than what we've seen in past years. The past 5 games or so when they've been on this skid, that hit's completely fallen off of a cliff. And people are going on Twitter and they're quick to blame JJ Redick. They're saying, rookie head coach, yada, yada, yada. Part of it is probably that he's not motivating the team right now. They're not listening to him for whatever reason. But part of it is when Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and D'Lo get the ball, they're stopping the offense. The team is simply not executing the game plan. They're falling out into a rhythm and getting back to old Darvin Ham-looking habits where they just have a slow, isolation-based offense when things don't work out. And that's making LeBron and Anthony Davis' life harder. There's a reason they've played so bad over the last 7 games. And a big part of that is just not putting the effort to execute and make those easy buckets happen for him.
Look at Darvin Ham having a lasting impact on grown men's lives. Darvin Ham out here, leader of men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if he's in the building or not. They're still following him. And that, for him, I love that for him.
Yeah. So I saw something on Twitter the other day. I think it was after last night after the loss to the Miami Heat or the loss before that. Some Lakers, big Lakers page, I don't remember the name, was like, it's time to have a conversation. And then below that was a picture of JJ Redick looking miserable as ever. And as usual, you Lakers fans are trying to find someone to scapegoat. And at that point in time,
what's up? Well,
we know the truth.
Who you putting the blame on?
We know the truth. It's Rob Pelinka in the roster that's been
correct.
The same exact mid roster that's been around for the last 2 years. You know, I think at some point in time, there's a famous quote by Allen. I said Allen Iverson. I meant to say Albert Einstein. Such an insane mishap. He said something like, "Expecting change with no change is insanity," and that's exactly what's happening.
You butchered that, but you're right.
I know the quote. That's not the quote. That's not the quote.
It's exactly like it's right now.
It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity.
Yeah. No,
I think it's actually a fake quote.
When you said, that's how Allen Iverson would have said it. That's not the Albert Einstein version. That's a different.
But to your point, to your point, despite the butchering, you are on the right track though. You were 100% right.
Yeah.
Listen, Darvin Ham lost the locker room. He had to get fired, right? It wasn't surprising. We don't need to look back and say he shouldn't have got fired. But the same errors are still here because Rui Hachimura still can't set screens. He still can't switch screens. D'Angelo Russell is still a terrible defender off ball. Jared Vanderbilt still doesn't play basketball games. They still don't have a backup center. They have all the same issues, and coaching can only fix so much of that. So you're 100% right. While they had to make a change, JJ Redick is not a fucking miracle worker. We see now that maybe some of us got excited, and we thought that there could be some marginal changes that make them better. They're just the same team. That's why I picked them to be 7th seed again like last year, because I think they're the exact same team. And Rob Pelinka is just the worst. Is the takeaway.
We've talked a lot about how your perception of the Lakers has changed, and I'm looking at them right now, and I'm thinking to myself, are they going to be in the top 10? Because
I think that's a bit dramatic, but I know what you mean. That's not crazy.
Because just because the rest of the Western Conference is super, super competitive. And obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and say they are definitively not gonna be in the top 10. But the best case scenario for the Lakers was always we have LeBron and AD. If we're now looking at them and LeBron is teetering between that top 10, top 15 range, and then you have AD and no defenders around them, it's clear that, and whether if it's his fault or not, it looks like there's a disconnect between what JJ is trying to preach and trying to get everybody to do, not even from a supreme, execution, we're going to outthink these guys, whatever, from an effort standpoint. Yeah. The fact that that's not happening, how long does this slide last? And something that we've seen from LeBron, at least for the last 2 years in the playoffs, is that he can dial it up from time to time and still be
for a quarter
and still be like LeBron. He could do it for a quarter. He could do it for a half. But something that I saw this year and I saw last year was, especially in series against the Nuggets, if he gives you a good first half, second half is going to be bad. He had a game this year where LeBron went crazy. I think he had a 30-point triple-double. And I was like, yep, next game, he's going under that point total. And he came out and had 12 because it's just so hard to do it consistently. And so if that's the case, I don't know what the ceiling is for the
you just said a lot of things that all need to be addressed one by one because you're on the money. I think first thing you said was if he's not going to be a top 10 or 15 player, that changes things. You don't have that. You can't fall back on having 2 top 10 players.
Yeah.
That's why I picked him as the most disappointing player. I could have picked Gabe Vincent, who offensively is playing like shit from a butt. He hasn't made a shot in I don't know how long. He shoots 12% from 3 for his Lakers career. Obviously disappointing. But LeBron, let's call it a semi fall off or just aging. If they can't have that fallback, they have no ceiling whatsoever.
They have no floor.
So even though no floor.
Yeah, it's gonna cave in.
Even though it's not his fault, it's disappointing because the window is over. If he's not a top 10 player, they just don't have a shot. And that is literally the difference between maybe this team could do something and make a conference finals if they get hot at the right time, like a couple years ago, versus this being dead in the water because you just have to have 2 elite players.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Listen, as much as I love LeBron James and I want the most success for him in his career, I'm licking my chops right now as we speak because I remember we have you guys pick. And by we, I mean the Atlanta Hawks. And if you guys somehow, some way, you guys are like our Anthony Davis ankle injury or ankle roll away from being in the lottery next year. And I'm looking at my.
I guess you can say about anybody. They're not going to be. You're not going to get a top 10 pick. Calm down. Relax. You're not getting shit.
When it happens,
you're not getting shit about you.
Clipping this, and then I'm adding you.
Yeah, sure. If Anthony Davis breaks his knee in half, then maybe.
Oh my God.
And they're too good for that. But Don, another thing you mentioned was JJ Redick. They're not listening to him, and he's talking about that in conferences, and he sounds so frustrated.
Yes,
and it's crazy because his schemes are good, the ideas are good, but the roster just does not fit it at all.
You guys gotta listen to him, man. God, he knows what he's
not
talking
even
about.
that. But if you're,
he's
if
the
you
coach.
run
Coach is right, guys. You have to play hard.
But I think a big difference in a rookie coach and the established veterans like a Ty Lue is you have to have some ability to bend your style to your talent.
Yeah.
You cannot ask Rui Hachimura and D'Lo to switch everything off ball. These guys do not have that in their bag. They are not equipped to execute it. It seems like they're not listening to him. I think they just can't do it. I think they are not equipped to execute this. And they gave up on him, right? Like that Miami game, they clearly gave up in the second half. LeBron and AD gave the fuck up and the role players followed. And I think it's just frustration because they simply cannot do it. And it's frustrating when you're starting to go off, you're trying, but you're not equipped to play this style. It leads to that. It fucking snowballs, and now it looks like he loses the locker room for a game, but they're just dejected.
Yeah, and I think for the Lakers, another thing, Rob Pelinka needs to be on the phone instantly, right?
The unemployment line.
Not only, well, yes, that too, but not only just because you have to make a change in the roster. Yo, everybody's trade stock is going down. If you watch the Lakers over the last 2-3 weeks, and you're watching D'Lo get called out multiple times over effort, you see the entire team quit like that. What other team is looking at that saying, "Yeah, we're a D'Angelo Russell away from getting better"? If you look at Rui, outside of the crazy 3-point shooting streak that he had 2 years ago, you look at everything that he's been doing. What team is saying to themselves, yeah, Rui would be a really nice addition to what we're doing here. Like, I think at this point right now, if you are trading for any of these guys, you are trading for the opportunity to get what they were 2 years ago at their best, but they're not putting that on film right now. And if I was an opposing GM, I would be very worried and I wouldn't make that call for them. Like, mad picks would have to be attached to the deal.
Do you guys remember that episode we did last year? I don't remember which one it was. But I think there was at some point where I said, I'm ready for this era to end. That I'm kind of okay if they move on from LeBron and AD at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I said that, but I still feel that way. And the rebuild is on the way. Maybe it's retooling around Anthony Davis. LeBron's probably going to retire after next year. They're not going to do this for many reasons that practical in real life. It has to do with business, the team, LeBron's desires, how perception works around the NBA, how you treat your stars, and so on. If shit hits the fan even further, I would not be disappointed as a Lakers fan if the shit got blown up by the trade deadline.
What does the blow up look like to you?
It looks like Anthony Davis, go join the Hawks, give us that goddamn pick back. LeBron James, let's go home to the Cavs. Let's get you a fucking title. Let's dominate the East. Let's go back to rebuilding.
Hey, Anthony Davis is what we need. He will fix all of our problems. I will be more than glad to go ahead and have that conversation with you at a later time.
Whatever it looks like, I don't know. It's probably not that extreme, but I won't be upset if they decide to give the team a chance and trade the picks to like make this team salvageable. I won't be upset if they do that and they get a Cam Johnson or whoever it may be with those 2 first-round picks. But I also will not be upset if they just throw the towel in and move on to the next era. Yeah,
because it's clear as day. This is just, it's been a cooked product for 2.5, 3 years or whatever you want to, whatever it may be. There's no way out other than unloading the talent you have, which is AD and letting LeBron ride through the sunset, or trying to unload the clip and get a Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith or Zach LaVine or whatever it might be.
The sad reality is they're probably not going to do either, and they're probably going to be mid for the next 2 years before LeBron retires and just be a 45-win team, which is the worst ever. Seeing LeBron go out this way like the Wizards MJ is just disgusting, but that's where we're at.
That's sick.
Well, that's all you can say. It's just,
sucks to suck.
Yeah, well, here we are. Perpetual play-in team, as always. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
Listen, I'm taking exactly what you said, and I would like to talk about another disappointment on a perpetual playing team. Let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about
5-win streak. Atlanta Hawks, the hottest team in the NBA. Atlanta Hawks. Make sure
we do not care. Let's talk. Let's talk about Trae Young, and let's talk about how Trae Young, specifically his shooting, is failing the Atlanta Hawks this year. Because you can talk a lot about the role players, and it's kind of similar to LeBron in the sense that, like, yes, there's other people who aren't playing as well. However, none of this works if Trae Young is not Trae Young. And we've seen Trae have up and down shooting seasons before. We've seen him go back and forth. He's shooting 30% from three right now, right? I understand that he's averaging 12 assists. The whole idea, though, behind this is you are going to be offensive engine. We are going to have long light skins who can defend around you, and then we'll have whatever big we can find, and that's kind of going to be the thing. And if Trae is not shooting the way that he needs to, if Trae is not scoring the way that he needs to, then you are not five game win streak or whatever. You're not going to get to the places that you want to go. And so that's why for me right now, Trae Young is very disappointing when I watch the Hawks.
Yeah, I can agree to that to a certain degree. Like, all this doesn't work in the long term if Trae's not being Trae. But in terms of overall Hawk basketball, this is the best that it's been in years, considering like the style of basketball that you're playing. You see Trae's usage rate slowly dropping, and meanwhile you see that.
Years.
Yeah, this is in terms of like
what a terrible
basketball.
Standard.
No, listen, in terms of like actual winning basketball, like there's a real vision that a lot can be bought, and we're more of like a modern team than ever since we've had Trae Young. In terms of like,
I believe you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just sad. It's just pitiful.
Listen, man,
the best it's been in years.
Listen, man. If I wish I had lineage to let me be a Lakers fan or a Warriors fan or a Celtics fan. I'm dealt with these cards and I'm appreciating them. And for right now, what I am appreciating is the Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, the Risha Says, DeAndre Hunter literally being the front runner of the sixth man of the year race right now. I'm appreciating all of this, but long term, you are correct. I think Trae's
this year
he's facing two things. There's like his Achilles is genuinely bothering him, and then on top of that too, he's giving up the ball way more than he's used to, and I think he's slightly struggling. Been more hesitant, picking up his dribble a lot more. The floater isn't in. Obviously, nothing is really going in for him at the offensive end, and he's just like learning how to capitalize in this new role while doing a little bit less.
And that's why for me, that's why it's kind of disappointing because of the way that everybody else is playing. And for so long, like Trae has been labeled as like an empty stats guy, like he's not a quote unquote like winning player. And now that the Hawks have some pieces to where you can play winning basketball, now that Jalen Johnson is picking it up and he's starting to do the things that we thought that he could in terms of like handling the ball, playing defense, being extremely versatile on offense, it is kind of disappointing that Trae isn't or can't immediately fit into this role where if he was like on it, they would be much better, especially in this situation right now.
Is it okay? So it's disappointing. Clearly, like you want to see him make his shots because, like, how good could they be? 5-game win streak could be even greater if he's scoring well. But is it worrying? Like he's shooting 29% from three on 6.4 pull-up threes a game. That is not Trae Young. Like he's had cold streaks before, but this is the least efficient year, even worse than his terrible rookie season. There's going to be positive regression at some point, whether it's because the Achilles Mo mentioned or whatever. He's going to get healthy and play better. Are you worried long term or just disappointed on what we've seen so far? Because that's a big difference there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm worried, but I am disappointed.
Yeah,
heavily.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair to say. I think the only slight things that tell me like, don't worry about it, is that it's not like he's been not shooting the ball. He's been trying to get his shot off. Just last night against the Milwaukee Bucks, he took 9 threes. None of them holes went in. He put up an absolute fat 0. If he wasn't getting those threes up, then I'd be like, oh my God, like, what's happening. He lost his aggressiveness that made him such like a potent offensive force along with his passing ability. But because he's getting those stuff off, I think that at this point in time, there's nothing to really worry about. It's just an insane, really a disgusting shooting slump that you've seen from him throughout his entire career. So I'm not worried about it.
Makes sense. Again, disappointing what we've seen so far, but I think we all think the Hawks will generally be fine. Things are trending upwards, so it's not too doom and gloom.
Yeah, exactly. You know what is kind of like doom and gloom right now?
Ooh, I don't know. I bet you're going to tell me.
All right. The Utah Jazz. We don't have to spend necessarily too much time on this, but Keontae George has been one of the most disappointing players, second-year players that the NBA has to offer us right now. I think it's clear as day that he's been forced into a role that simply just doesn't fit him being the lead guard. He's never been that throughout his entire like playing career, not only in the NBA or college or high school. And I think Will Hardy's been forcing him upon that role, thus making him like one of the most inefficient lead guards in the entire association right now, especially starting. He's probably the worst. To start off the year, I think he shot like 32% from the field for his first 7 or 11 games. And overall, his efficiency is just disgusting. His ability to bring up the ball comfortably up court, even with the slightest of pressure onto him, is a battle. And for that to be your lead NBA guard at times, it's very concerning. The turnovers are absolutely disgusting. I believe, fun fact, the Utah Jazz, they lead the NBA in transition points given up, I believe, which is like at 31 points per game. And that's the most that we've seen in like 20-something years. It's ridiculous. And a lot fall on his shoulders. Now, I will say over the last 7-9 games, he's been a bit better, shooting like 43% from the field. But it's clear that he's super disappointing. He's not the lead guard that for that organization. He could be an off guard to an Isaiah Collier. He looks a lot better and more comfortable with that responsibility off of his shoulders. But as of now, he's definitely slightly disappointing because he's not a lead guard and he's more so like a Colin Sexton type of player. Yeah.
Dylan Harper, you're ready to speak Utah Jazz. I know your dad doesn't want you to go there, but they need you. Get ready. It's going to happen. His dad was just tweeting about how he doesn't want to see him in Utah. He made a joke about requesting a trade. They need a Dylan Harper in the draft. It's clear. They're tanking, so you kind of want to empower some young guards to try to make those playmaking leaps while you're trying to tank because, you know, it helps both ways. They might get better at it, and you might lose some games. So overall, it's a win. But, yeah, you want to see him get better at that. And I'm not out on him yet, but I definitely see what you're seeing. Can't be too excited.
Yeah. Dude, defensively, with him on the court, the Utah Jazz have a defensive rating of 127, and with him off the court, they have a defensive rating of 109.
Yeah. Damn. Let's talk about another similar situation. Let's talk about another guard who was drafted to be the lead guard of his team, and the rebuild kind of hinged on his shoulders.
No.
And none of it has gone well.
No.
The most disappointing player for the Portland Trailblazers is none other than Scoot Henderson.
No. No.
Yeah. So last year,
I don't
he was bad. He was bad, and everybody rushed to call him a bust and make fun of him. And we came up here and we preached, not caution, what's the word? Patience. We said young guards have rough seasons often.
Normal.
It's best to not overreact yet. Let's see how it looks in year 2. Let's see how the skills begin to develop as the time goes on. Give him a second before we make too harsh of a judgment. I still feel that way in principle, but I think we've seen enough through, listen, we're 25% of the way through the season and all of last year. I think it's safe to say Scoot Henderson is not a star by any means. That's clear. I am beginning to be worried if he's ever going to be a starter. Like, there's a world where he's a good player still. He's not, nobody's done after 100 games, but the idea of building around him is done, I believe.
Oh man, that's not going to be a starter. Is such. No,
he can be a starter. He can be a starter. I mean, maybe that was dramatic, but it's not a guarantee. He has to develop still. It's not a guarantee at all.
And it's just it's such a heel turn, and it's very unfortunate because he's in a situation that is like, I know that they have guards in Portland, but it's also tailor made for him. You were the 3rd pick in the draft, and I think a lot of people got fooled by or were lied to about how athletic he was. He's strong, right? Like he looks big, but he's not like as fast, as powerful as some of the other guys that people were comparing him to. And so because of that, like there probably were some expectations on it, but also just outside of that, like regular point guard duties just haven't been his thing, and it's kind of not kind of
the regular
it's
point guard duties aren't your thing.
It's regular disappointment, which is also wild. And this is what I never understand about like just the league in general. You have Chauncey Billups as your coach. Like it's very weird. It's very weird that these like older guards can't foster younger guards in that situation, especially with Chauncey, because he bounced around so much as a young player. So you can understand and be in that mindset of a young player trying to figure out his way, and he can't help. And it's that whole situation is very weird to me.
What makes it even worse is like the Portland Trailblazers have been a lot better than any of us has expected. They have like 8 wins so far into this 2022 game season that we've entered. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Scoot Henderson. This team is tanking. They're a lot better than they even want to be themselves. And it has nothing to do with you. In order to make Portland Trailblazers fans happy, which is for them to get the highest pick possible, they probably need to pick Scoot Henderson or play Scoot Henderson a lot more. That is incredibly sad to say and to think of, bro. It's alarming, and I'm starting to sound the fire bells too.
Are we selling stock?
Defense.
Are we selling, like, how much of your stock are you selling?
I've been sold it. I just didn't tell you about it. I did it behind closed doors because I didn't want you to.
I'm still in on it.
Yeah, I wanted you to hold the bag so I can get out before the whole market crash.
See, now
maybe the market has crashed and you're just caught holding it.
Now I'm homeless.
Yeah, you're fucking cooked. He does not shoot well from 3. We know that. 32%. Could be worse, I guess, but not good. 28% from mid range. Doesn't really have touch there. Doesn't have the first step to beat people consistently and get to an open shot. So it shows. Doesn't really generate any open looks from either level. And only 54% at the rim, which is not particularly good, especially if you're not a good shooter. There's no scoring strength to hold his hat on. The processing speed as a passer clearly is an issue. End of the day, if you don't have the athleticism to get open, you don't have high-level passing to create advantages even without getting super open as a scorer, you're not a strong defender, you're not big and can serve some defensive versatility with rebounding. We've literally not seen a strength yet. Which
tough.
Even like that's tough. It's looking like an old school buster right now that we haven't seen in a while.
That's true. We haven't seen
a
bust like this.
Yeah, just like someone who's just like
straight
trash.
Complete miss.
Yeah, completely missing.
I wasn't gonna say that, but a complete miss.
We've been led astray for sure.
He's gonna be great in the Euro League. It's gonna be awesome. he might win MVP. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and again, and there's a world where he finds a career like Markelle Fultz did, where you find like a bench role and you develop those skills over time. But he's a lot of time, a lot of reps, and a lot of patience, and a lot of recalibration of expectations.
Man, no, this is so cooked. You just brought up Markelle Fultz in the big year 2024, soon to be 2025, and that man plays for what team?
I know, but he had a couple of years where he found a role for himself. Yeah. All right, what's the next team?
It's on me.
It's on you.
Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. And
okay,
let's talk about how Brandon Podziemski is stinking it up. Because
I don't want to hear this.
Because we've heard so much, and to the Warriors' credit, they are right. They have a lot of depth, and that is something that has propelled them in years past. It's something that's propelled them this year. Brandon Podziemski is not a part of that. He is missing threes left and right. He is not scoring at all. They have, now that D'Anthony Melton is out, you have an opening for Brandon Podziemski to come in and be that guard and be that guard in that role. And he's just not taking it. And you expected him after a really good rookie season to take, even if Warriors fans were like crazy and they thought that, oh yeah, like we got another star on our hands. Probably was never going to be that, but to be a very productive role player, he's the antithesis of that right now. And he has by far been the most disappointing player on that team.
Yeah. So obviously he's not making his threes, which is like the most important thing to do for a player in his current role, playing next to Steph Curry as like an off guard. You have to hit your threes, like baseline, obviously, to stay on the court. 22% is, I can't even say not going to cut it. It's abysmal. I'm also disappointed with his defense. I didn't think he was an amazing defender, but I thought he was cool. Like he was a solid enough team defender. And there's been some games since DeAnthony Melton got hurt and Pods has kind of been forced to really have a big defensive presence where this team is constantly in rotation. And in this game against the Nuggets, when Draymond wasn't there to just hide and save everybody, he is a walking blow-by. Specifically, like on ball, I'm sure he's okay enough, but specifically when he's closing out on a shooter, he's so easy to blow by on a closeout that it leads to so many issues with their defense having to rotate behind him. And this whole Denver game, they were just constantly in rotation, constantly creating open looks with Aaron Gordon cutting off of Jokic post-ups. He's not playing good on either end right now.
Pods, man. Looking back at it, I'm sure, dude, we need to start having a real conversation about how badly the Warriors have missed for years now when it comes to these NBA draft picks. They haven't had
I'm not going to call him a miss per se.
I mean, if he plays like this, it's looking very miss-like.
Sure, but he's a 19th pick in the draft. He had a good year. Now he's struggling. I'm not prepared to call him a miss in the draft yet.
Right outside the lottery. Listen, it's miss adjacent.
Dude, it's a close stretch. I'm not going to write off Brandon Podziemski.
Nah, he's writing him off. I'm over it. I'm selling my stuff.
Oh my God.
I like Pods. I think when it comes to like most disappointing player talk, that's completely fine. Me personally, I think I would lean towards Jonathan Kuminga because expectations are higher. I feel more about him strongly than someone like Pods. I'm not, whenever I think about like the Warriors and their woes and downfalls or the Warriors and their successes, I'm not thinking about Podziemski. He is Pods. He's there to do the simple things and be like an accessory cord whenever needed. The passing, the little bit of defense, spreading the floor and beating off the players off the dribble once in a while. I look at Jonathan Kuminga and I'm just like continuously disappointed in him and how Steve Kerr has handled that situation since he's been drafted. Moses Moody, great player, doing what he's supposed to do. Pods, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but Kuminga hasn't been able to like find ways.
Pods is not doing what he has to do.
I agree with you. I agree with you. When I was, because the two that I was deciding over were between Kuminga and Pods. And the one stat that stood out to me where I was like, oh yeah, no, like this guy, he's thinking it up. Pods had 3 games this season with 2 or more threes out of 19.
That's insane.
Three games. This is coming from a player who shot 38% from 3 last year. He has 3 games this season with 2 or more threes.
And Mo, you mentioned that your expectations are lower, and I get that why you say that, but this team's expectations were not lower for Brandon Podziemski. It was reported that the Jazz desire to have him is why they didn't get Lowry marketing because they refused to trade Brandon Podziemski because they viewed him as a neck young cornerstone. They didn't view him as this ancillary guy like, oh, go do your thing, Pods. We'll handle everything. You just do you. No, they viewed him as an important piece that could be the off guard of the future next to Steph Curry. That could be an important part of their defense and their offense. And he is doing neither 3 nor D right now. So I think his disappointment, especially with Anthony Melton injured, is immensely important.
Exactly.
Man.
That is why. That's why.
Because right now they can play Buddy Hield and have good offense but no defense, or they can play Gary Payton II and have good defense but no offense. They're back in that position where they're picking if they're going to go either side. And DeAnthony Melton was the key to having a 2-way backcourt. Pods needs to be that now, and he can't be.
I feel like Pods will turn it around now. He should turn it around.
Yeah. I'm not out on him, but he's playing like fucking garbage. We know he can be better. That's why we're calling him out. But
yeah,
it's not. He needs to get better fast because they are on a 5-game win streak with
losing streak,
no end in sight. Oh yeah, losing streak, and they need some fucking lifeline into a better run of the season.
I agree. They need different looks.
What's your next team, Mo?
All right. Next up, I guess we can go ahead and breeze over a team like the Toronto Raptors. I think plenty of people has felt this on Twitter specifically. People are over here talking about how this is one of the most ethical tanks that they've seen in quite a while. You know, if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, you should be super happy with what you have in front of you. Scotty Barnes is back, starting to ramp things up a little bit. Had a great game last night or 2 nights ago. Grady Dick has slowed down as of late, but still has like maintained a level of aggressiveness, which is what you love to see. And then RJ Barrett has completely changed the trajectory of his career. He looks like a real foundational piece. Now, when you think about disappointment for this Raptors organization. It's hard to pinpoint one specific player other than their like guard rotation. Ochai Agbaji, can't say anything about him. He's doing his job, averaging like 13 points, efficient as hell. Cool. I'm looking at Emmanuel quickly. I guess you could say he might be a little bit disappointing, but he only played like 3 games. So at that point, I really can't really call him that. After that, my attention goes to someone like Davion Mitchell, who was a lottery pick just a couple years ago. They got him for practically nothing from the Sacramento Kings, and this is the most amount of opportunity that he's ever had in his entire NBA career. And to see him still not to be as efficient as a shooter when it comes to what this team needs around their star players and Scotty Barnes, and goddamn, I can't believe I'm saying it about RJ Barrett, that's slightly disappointing. Is the world ending and crashing and burning? No. It's not the end of the world whatsoever, but if you're going to place disappointment on a player, it's got to be him.
Yeah, you said a lot of words to say there's not a big disappointment on the Raptors. I think it's you got that a Davion Mitchell on your list. Yeah. The answer is they don't have a big disappointment. Things are going great. They're not even going to be tanking anymore. Scotty Barnes has come back starting at point guard and been amazing, playing like a star again. So things are going well for the Raptors. Raptors fans are always commenting, you guys want to talk about us, yada, yada. Today's the day we're not going to say a single more word about you because things are going good. So you shouldn't want to say any words.
I try to go ahead and give them their love and give them like, you know, a brief hierarchy of how their season's going right now, and you just try to shut them up. I try.
Things are going very well right now. We don't got to pretend. They're doing quite well. All the young players look good. We can move on.
Except for Davion.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. It's not high on the priority list. Let's talk about a player that you love to shit on, Mo, for no reason over the years.
Whoa.
And not shit on, but you like to say that fans have too high expectations for him, that you never saw the vision.
Okay.
Well, your anti-agenda is currently aging amazing because the most disappointing player on the Sacramento Kings is Keegan Murray.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
And for him, it's real simple. He is not making threes. And this is a team we talked about last time we did our power rankings that does not win the three-point volume battle at all. They are currently 24th in three-point volume and 25th in efficiency while giving up a lot of threes because they don't allow any shots at the rim to try to hide Domantas Sabonis. So this team is built around De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and DeRozan. Non-three-point shooters, besides Fox, who's a good three-point shooter, but not great. But, not a lot of volume there. And the Kings desperately need Keegan Murray to provide some shooting. They desperately need Kevin Hurd to provide some shooting, Malik Monk, etc. And Keegan Murray is by far and away their best shooter. He's supposed to be the guy that provides the 3 and the D, and he is completely lost the 3 right now. 29% from 3, 30% on catch and shoot threes, 11% on pull-up threes, and 96% of his threes are open, and he's still shooting this terribly.
That's the most damning stat about
That's crazy.
96, every shot that you take is open. And you can make one.
And you shoot 28% on the open threes. It's probably just a cold stretch. He's had a career of shooting well, so he'll probably get back to it. But they're the goddamn 13 or 12 seed right now. I don't know where they're standing because it changes every day. And this is a big swing factor of what is going to be the thing that can maybe save them.
Yeah, you better make some shots, my guy.
Yeah, we can keep this quick, but I've always been not a fan of teams overly relying on role players who are just simply role players and are good at being good. They're not great, but they're good at being good. And so, sucks to see, but hopefully that shit gets better.
Yeah, again, this isn't one I'm terribly worried about long term, but it's a big problem.
Right,
for sure. With how they're built, with DeMar DeRozan there, I'd be terribly worried.
Yeah, they have a ridiculous amount of heavy weight on his shoulders.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, I'm doubling up. I'm going to, because there's one that we don't really have to spend too much time on, and that's easily the New Orleans Pelicans, just because this is a lost season for them. Everybody's dead. The only thing is that one of the people that is hurt is Zion, and you just never want to see that from him because it always gives you some more like concern about, can we build around him? Can we do,
those conversations are out the door.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've been having that so many times, but like this season again, it's like it looked like he was having the breakout year last year, and then now we have to go through another year of like injury stuff. So that stuff is not great to hear.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Zion being the big disappointment. We don't gotta beat a dead horse.
Exactly.
It's looking tough for his future. Obviously, we don't gotta say too much about them. What's your second team for this?
The second team that we're gonna talk about is the Orlando Magic. Listen, you may think that everything is good, right? Because Franz Wagner has turned into a star. They've maintained while Paolo's out. However, the one kind of weak spot that you can still point to is KCP and his shooting. Because I'm gonna give him a little bit of credit. Over the last week, he's had a couple of good games, right? It's starting to look like he turned around. However, right after that good week, went back to being, the struggling KCP that we've seen for a majority of the year. He's already had 7 games this year without hitting a single three. He's had 7 overs this year. And the big thing, obviously, why everybody was excited when the Magic signed KCP is because last year they needed shooting. KCP is known for being a shooter. And if he's not there being a shooter, then it's a problem, right? So that's the thing that if you're looking at the Magic, it's kind of disappointing because especially when Paolo comes back, if Paolo can come back and be at the level that he was, if Franz can continue to play at this level, and then you get KCP and his shooting can get there, the Magic they might be the second best team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. There's a big theme here going on. In the age of the 3-point shooting era and the volume of threes needed from every team, a big running theme of most disappointing players is going to simply be people are having an extremely cold shooting season. And KCP is a poster boy that his addition was talked about like it was damn near a star addition because his shooting was that desperately needed on a team like this. So the high-end role player adjustment that they could add to that offense by adding in KCP shooting could have a star type of leap for their offense. And they just have been robbed of that.
Exactly. And it's like we kind of hinted or people were kind of pushing back on the idea that, KCP is going to come in and completely change the Magic because he did have a bad playoffs. He wasn't a knockdown shooter for, the second half of his career in Denver. But there's certain guys that just like on defense, you already have the reputation of being a good defender. You can have that as a shooter. There's certain guys that are labeled as shooters and you have to give them respect as such. And KCP is kind of one of them, but he's not knocking them down. So Orlando, they're going to need some shots out of him.
Yeah. You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. Actually, in my opinion, too, if you're going to talk about like most disappointing players for the Orlando Magic, KCP, salute, he's one of them. But I also think like someone like Cole Anthony is easily one of the most disappointing players too. His role has just continuously like dwindled over the last few years, and people always have always complained and talked about how they need lead guard creation, shooting, and all sort of stuff. Meanwhile, you drafted the guy who's supposed to fix all those issues and woes just a few years ago, and he's averaging career lows across the board. So it's like,
I get that. He had
barely plays. I don't even know.
He had an opportunity to kind of lock that up, and when he was getting major minutes, the team was getting better, and they still said, "Yeah, we're still going to need an upgrade." So I don't feel as bad because I do feel like Cole Anthony has had opportunities to show exactly how good he can be and how much he can lead an offense and lead a team. So it's like it is what it is, but they're just going to keep taking shots.
Yeah.
All right, what's your next team, Mo?
That's fair. All right, so my next team is going to be the Denver Nuggets. Sad to say, this is not really shocking whatsoever, but Jamal Murray has easily been consistently one of the most disappointing players in the league, one of the most disappointing players that the NBA has to offer because he has a chance to do something special with one of the greatest. People keep on saying what might be one of the greatest offensive players of all time. No, like Nikola Jokic is one of the greatest offensive players of all time. He's in all types of conversations. Don't care what names you put up. He can look them in the eye when it comes to what he is offensively. And you have Jamal Murray, someone who you had the opportunity to trade away back when he was injury riddled, tore his ACL and all that. But you decided to keep him, stay 10 toes down. Great. I love to hear that. Love to see it. And you won an NBA championship. You did that once. That was a couple years ago. And Nikola Jokic, since the NBA championship, had done nothing but just like leveled up his game even more than what it once was. And so you have this generational player who's just stomping every defense that tries anything up against him. Meanwhile, your sidekick, whose job is to really just be empty the clip, hit tough shots, hit clutch shots, and be ultra aggressive on that end, has looked like a shadow, a cast of himself on a consistent basis this season. And so with him being this level of disappointing, if I'm a team like the Denver Nuggets, I'm looking to trade him immediately so you don't continue to waste any more time and give yourself an opportunity to maximize on Jokic's peak and prime. He's been so disappointing. So disappointing.
That's interesting. I didn't think that you would go there with him because obviously, like I'm with you. I do think that he is the most disappointing, and it's clear. I guess like from the outside looking in, it's clear that he's not 100% healthy. And
Is it?
I think so. I think that he has moved very, very weird since the calf injury, and it's been kind of clear. Now, whether or not you think that he's healthy and that stuff is gone, that's a different conversation. And if you think that, then I am with Mo. You have to move on like immediately because obviously like everything that you do is around Jokic, and you need the pieces.
Yeah, I think it seems, again, listening to Nuggets fans, seeing the reporting, there surely is lingering issues. There always is with this type of stuff. So I don't want to say that you're completely wrong, that he's not fully healthy. I'm not going to claim he's fully healthy. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, if these things linger forever, you have to start to wonder if maybe these are injuries that just have a permanent impact on your athleticism, and this is just going to be who you are. And if that's the case, you guys are right. That I don't know if it means I have to get rid of them, just because I don't know if the value is going to be anything that can make them better. But I think it's safe to say that if he can't reach the playoff levels we saw a couple years ago, where he was playing at a top 10 point guard level, we were saying he's the best non-all-star in the league pretty clearly. Like we were saying he's essentially another all-star. The talking point is always Jokic never has an all-star teammate, but we know Jamal Murray can rise to that when needed. If he can't do that, then you simply don't have a title ceiling. And we can talk a lot about KCP going, the bench sucking, yada, yada. If Jamal Murray is not the Jamal Murray of old, the title window does not exist.
Yeah. Depth, you can have all the depth that you want. Everything in the NBA still does come down to, can your top two players be like elite in the playoffs? And then everybody has to fall in line from there. But that is a very big foundation that you need to have. And Jamal just isn't, he's just not showing it right now.
Yeah. And I don't know what they can do to retool around that. If that's the reality, if he's not going to get back to the level, which he might, we could be wrong. He could make us eat crow. You never know. But if he can't, you don't have a ton of young assets, to be frank. The pick situation, it's obviously gets better every year as they replenish, but they've made trades. They're a second apron team. There's limited flexibility to go out and get a true second star unless a miraculous deal happens and a team just really wants Jamal Murray. I don't have a ton of hope for this problem changing anytime soon.
I agree. The only hope is just Jamal Murray getting it together and being the Jamal Murray of the old.
Yeah. All right, so it's my turn now?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yes, it is.
Let's see.
Once again.
Let's talk about a guy who is... No, we've done a lot of disappointing players on here.
Here's
who
a
just
guy.
like aren't... We've mentioned a lot of players who are just having cold shooting stretches, right? That's disappointing. They're playing below their obvious previous expectations. I want to talk about a guy who's playing exactly at his previous levels and has not gotten better in any meaningful way offensively, and that is Jalen Green. Jalen Green is a disappointment for the Rockets because coming after the end of last year when he had his annual insane March and April, we were like, listen, man, I don't think this is going to be the case. I don't think he's 6'5" Donovan Mitchell now, but I think there may be a world where he's somewhere in between, that some of these skills that are developing can carry over to next year, and maybe he can be the second star they're paying him to be in some capacity. He has done none of that same stuff. That stretch where he averaged damn near 30 for that month is because his three-point shot was absolutely insane, and because of that, people had to respect him, and he'd be able to get to the rim really well coming off of that. And the whole offensive package really started to click because he could not goddamn miss from three. He is back to shooting the exact same averages he shot last year, the year before that, and the year before that at 34% from three. And that's really what he needs to be a star. He's shooting a little bit better at the rim, which is cool. His athleticism is helping there, and he's defending better. So he's made some strides, and he's a part of why they're so good. He's not selling them. But there's games where he gets hot, and he goes for 30 because his three-point shot is falling. And in those games, you see a brief little glimpse of what this Rockets team could be with an elite off-the-dribble shooting threat next to Alperen Sengun, and you're like, oh my God, if they had March Jalen Green for a whole year, they would be ridiculous because that skill set is exactly what this team needs, and his inability to do that consistently on a night-in, night-out basis has to be the biggest disappointment for a team that otherwise is going really, really well.
We should have made this episode a year ago because that's what I
Is that the same shit?
that's when I consolidated all of my disappointment for Jalen Green because it's the same, like you said, it's the same thing year in and year out of what you want to see from Jalen rather than what you are getting from him on a consistent basis. And so for me, I'm not that disappointed. I am more vindicated. You are who I thought you were. And that's it. I think for them, I think I would be more disappointed at Reed Shepherd because he was the contingency plan in case Jalen Green did the same thing that he does over and over. And Reed Shepherd is not looking good. Reed Shepherd is not showing you flashes. And that's for me, that's the more worrying thing if I'm the Rockets. Because this damn, I had 2 chances to get a guard. And right now it looks like that's still going to be a hole moving forward. But
yeah, I'm never gonna pick a rookie on this type of list. But I know what you're saying. We all have high hopes for Reed, so it'd be nice to see him come out on a hotter rate. But
yeah,
it's rookie guard shit. It's the same thing. Sometimes it becomes Scoot. Sometimes it becomes Trae Young. You never know.
But it's hard to trust in a rookie guard like Reed Shepherd, who's naturally, like you said, Scoot or Trae Young or whatever rookie guards just get off to a tough time in general. It's hard to want to give him that opportunity to get over those bumps on the road. When you have Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, and all these guys playing the best team basketball for the Houston Rockets that they've seen since the James Harden era. It's so hard to want to give Reed Shepherd that opportunity and be like, okay, It's okay, play through it. There's no such thing as play through it. Why? Because they're winning right now.
Yeah. So the Rockets' most used lineup by far, over 600 minutes, is their starting lineup. That is Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Sengun. That lineup has a 114 offensive rating and 103 defensive rating. So +9. Very good, right? We know it's because of that defensive rating is ridiculous. The offense is a little bit below average. Their second most used lineup is the same 5 starters, except you swap out Jalen Green for Amen Thompson. That lineup has played a little bit over 100 minutes. So not the biggest sample size in the world, but it's their second most used lineup. Wow, man, that team is +36. They have a 128 offensive rating and a 91 defensive rating.
Yeah, 91 is
doing nothing. 91 is ridiculous.
That's idiotic.
128 is even stupider. That's it. 128 offensive rating is ridiculous, unsustainably good, obviously. But listen, you swap out Jalen Green for your best bench player, and you become the best defense in the NBA, bar none, and your offense looks better. Again, it won't sustain to that level. It won't be +36 all season. That's asinine. But it matches what we've seen so far. Amen Thompson.
This looks like the writing's on the wall. Writing might be on the wall right there.
Goddamn right it does. Amen Thompson is coming, man.
You just might have found a clue for me right there.
Okay, bar. But yeah, man, we'll see. Jalen Green has made developments. He's better at the rim, and the defense has been noticeably better. So not here to say, haha, Jalen Green, you stink. It's, haha, your 3-point shot kind of stinks, and I need that to be the saving grace of this offense.
Okay. That's tough. You know what? You know who also stinks?
Who?
Marcus Smart for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
They hate that man. They do. The other day, they were in the in-season tournament. Now they're eliminated, of course. I don't want to say thanks to Marcus Smart because there was
NBA Cup.
A few other things. Yeah, NBA Cup. There you go. My bad.
Get it right.
The Emirates NBA Cup.
Yeah.
No. Show some fucking respect. Show some respect to our corporate overlords.
Exactly.
All right. You're right.
Respect oil money.
Oil money. Point is, Marcus Smart threw away. It felt like he threw away the game in multiple occasions, and it's not only this specific game that I'm over here bringing his name upon. It's basically throughout the entirety of the season for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's been nothing but disappointing. Going back to similar to what you said about Jalen Green and his inconsistency from the 3-point line, Marcus Smart has been nothing but that throughout his entire NBA career, outside of maybe 1 or 2 years where he was just okay. He's not giving you much on that end. Defensively, he is a playmaker, and when being a defensive playmaker, that comes with being risky and making boneheaded plays when you're trying to be witty and all that other stuff. Hasn't worked out on that end as well. He's been pretty much an absolute zero for this team, and I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I'm sure the minutes that he's playing are absolutely disgusting, and it looks like all Memphis Grizzlies fans out there want him out of the town immediately. He's by far the most disappointing player.
Yeah. When he's on the court, they currently have a 117 offense and 110 defense. So they're winning those minutes by nature of the Memphis Grizzlies being fucking fantastic. But his on-off numbers, they are 2 points worse than him on the court.
Checks out.
So, you're surrounded by great players on a great team. So he's not going to be this disgusting catapulting black hole that ruins him. But he's not making him better like they hoped, right? The idea was to have this ability to have a lockdown defender next to John Morant and also be a backup point guard. And part of it's injuries, but part of it is just the 3-point shooting that he saw in 2019 has consistently gone worse every year. He's not getting any more athletic. At this point, you kind of know who he is.
He's getting old.
Yeah.
You just said his 3-point shot from 2019. That was 5 years ago. That's a prime, right? Like that's a good amount of time. So
with that being said, let's trade him to the Lakers. We need a defensive guard. Let's save Marcus Smart.
Everybody.
Ew, bro.
Donovan, who you got next?
Let's go to Detroit, and let's go to a guy who
we didn't forget you guys this time. Last time we did underrated players, we forgot about you. We got you this time.
I wish I had Detroit because I would have forgot him again.
Yeah, you probably would have.
I should have asked you to trade me.
But every time I watch the Pistons, I'm always left saying, man, Jalen Duren is getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Duren has not expanded his offensive game. Jalen Duren has not improved his defensive game. And it has led him getting, less minutes. Shout out to JB Bickerstaff for seeing him play, seeing him not improve on the things that they need him to improve, and saying, I'm not going to do what Monty Williams did. I'm not going to keep you out on the floor for as long as it is. You can still be out here because you can do some things, but you're not taking the steps forward. You are not progressing the way that we need to. And for the Pistons, who are obviously in a rebuild, just want to see young players, Jalen Duren should be a guy who every year you see something, and it's just not there. It's not clicking. And so he is the most disappointing player on the Pistons.
If you're
people like him because he has like aura attacks for him because he's like swole as hell and dunks real hard. So people assume he's like really good. He got Dwight comparisons early last year.
Yeah.
And you mentioned he hasn't expanded his offensive game. I don't even fucking care about the offensive game. He can just be running dunk man his whole career. The defensive effort and IQ and ability to make smart pick and roll coverage reads has just not developed at all. And Isaiah Stewart, oddly enough, has been fantastic defensively after being dog ass last year when he was playing power forward. He's moved back to center and he's been a saving grace with them. He has been exceptional defensively.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to Jalen Duren, like, okay, you have aura, cool. You can get away and steal NBA minutes. But if you're going to have aura and you're not going to play defense, you might want to work on your offensive game, okay? You're not going to do that. You're not going to have any shot. Your passing is a little interesting, but, bro, you're Jalen Duren. No one's ever going to prioritize that. Let's be real. What is the point of you starting on my team? If I want you starting on my team, that means that I want the number 1 overall pick. The Pistons are past that rebuilding phase right now. They're trying to get things together and build some self-respect for each other. And they've done for their organization, and they've done a fantastic job this entire season. They aren't embarrassing. They aren't the Washington Wizards. They're not the Utah Jazz. They're actually a team that you got to be like, oh shit, like they're kind of irritating to play against. And Jalen Duren is he's the anchor on this team, holding them down in the worst ways possible, bro.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not. You guys have been real extreme with your hate today.
What did we say?
I think Jalen Duren is still.
He's holding
I think
Jalen
Duren shouldn't be given up on because I think he has the potential and athleticism that if you can let him develop and hopefully get him average defensively.
Man. That's the aura. You just think he's sexy.
It's the tools. Oh my god. Hey man, he's hot. What can I say? No, but if he can be competent defensively. Literally same. There's a reason they're still playing Jalen Green. Because if you can get them competent at their weaknesses, the strengths can be huge. And if they can make him a decent defender, that man can dunk a basketball. So like it'd be nice if they could play him enough.
No, these guys go to practice, they start biting their lips, and the coach is like, all right, you got it. Like I don't have the same way that I don't have much hope for Jalen Green. I don't think that I am super optimistic is the word. That Jalen Duren will end up being, the idealized version of what he can be. And so seeing that, and just like Mo said, they're not in phase 1 of the rebuild. They're in phase 2, where you actually want to start being respectable and winning games. You need people to start taking those steps forward. And now it's more of just like, oh, let's see, what you can do, and then we can build around it. No, we kind of have a vision, and you need to fit into it, and you need to start doing some things, and he's not. So that's why he's disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. I'm just like, they should probably see it through a little more and like see if he can develop because the potential's there. But I don't blame you for not being optimistic. It's not going well.
Yeah, I can never be a GM. So you got 1.5 years. and I'm calling people up. What can I get for him?
I see what they want to see out of him, but yeah, you guys are right. It hasn't been pretty so far.
I will see you, Jalen Green. Will I see it through? No, but I will see you on that bench. Absolutely.
I wonder how it feels to be somebody like Jalen Duren and like somebody sends you this clip and these guys are like, yeah, your defense is not good right now. I'm worried, but they're also like, you're kind of hot. Mental process, but you're also sexy. So it's hilarious.
I mean, you know, a win is a win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can only do what I can. You feel me?
You think I'm hot?
Oh my god!
Brushing the waves.
You know the playbook. You know the move.
Okay, what am I going to do next? Let me see. I'll knock out two at once.
All right.
Okay, first one I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it over with real fast. I don't have much to say about him. Kyle Kuzma, you were playing like piss.
Ooh,
and I like Kyle Kuzma a lot. But goddamn, has he been detrimental to the Wizards. It's okay because they're tanking, so detriment is welcomed around that town. But he missed the first few games, and man, that ball was moving. Bilal Coulibaly looked great. Jordan Poole looked great. Corey Kispert was doing his thing. Everybody was looking fantastic. He comes back. He shoots 27% from three since he came back, is dominating the ball, getting his touches because he wants to be Kyle Kuzma, put up his numbers, be a scorer. That's what he get paid to do. So I understand he wants to, assert that. The shot's not going in. He went from having 4.2 assists per game last year to 1.9 this year. He's not passing well. He's not scoring well. He's not defending well. He's not rebounding well. He's not doing jack shit well right now. But he also has 2.4 turnovers. More turnovers than assists. That is the sign of a bad basketball player. Kyle Kuzma's not that. He'll be better. But right now, for these first 20 games, he has been a bad basketball player, and I'm sure he'd be the first one to admit that.
Kyle Kuzma, I think you've been playing fantastic basketball. I like what you're doing. I told you what the goal is. The goal is to get Cooper Flag, and you've been trying so hard to go ahead and do so for me, and I appreciate you. Isaac, you are wrong. Isaac, your analysis is dog water, dog shit. Those stats are skewed. They're not real. They're fake. I swear to God they are. Kyle Kuzma, keep on hooping.
And it annoys me because he's a guy that I want to put into trade talks to put on a good team because he's a big wing that can do some things with the ball. But if he's not going to be shooting the three well and he's going to be a black hole offensively, why the fuck would you trade for him right now? So maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he wants to stay in Washington like when he could have gone to Dallas last year. Maybe he's tanking his stock on purpose.
Nah, I think he's just trying to. I think if you're a team, this could easily be a trade that you just simply have to see through and buy in that, like everything just sucks over there. They're starting two rookies and Alex Sarr and also Bub, who's like they're both having okay rookie season. Shout out to them. I have to see if I'm a team, if I'm a contender who needs some type of gap filled in or some type of sixth man or whatever, I'm 110% like getting off like as low as least as possible for someone like Kyle Kuzma.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep the Kyle Kuzma one brief. He just needs to play better. That's clear as day.
All right.
Let's talk about another one that is serious, that this is something we actually have to think about these players standing in the league.
Oh, wow.
What is wrong with Bam Adebayo this year?
Oh, my
Tell
gosh.
me that, because the Miami Heat are full of disappointments. Jimmy Butler looks like he's taking a step back, but I won't give him the title because he's getting old. It's fine. That happens. Bam Adebayo looks awful. And this is a player that we have all been high on. We've put him high in the center rankings. We've said after those three superstars, he might be the next guy up. He's number 4, 5 at worst. He has played nothing like a top 10 center right now, at least offensively. I don't have a strong feel for the defense. Maybe that's still been DPOY levels. Miami Heat fans, you tell me.
Still great.
Offensively, what the fuck is he cooking offensively? It makes no sense. 2.5 years ago, when he had his best offensive scoring year in 2022, 50% of his shots came from the rim. 37% came from floater range and 12% on long mid-range jumpers. No threes, right?
Yeah.
We know this year he's really added some threes. That's kind of been a 2-year transition. Fast forward a few years later this year, 18% of his shots come from three. Up from 0. So that's a pretty, that makes sense. We'd like to see him stretch the floor a little bit, right?
Tell me those nasty stats. I know you got him.
But where the fuck do those shots come from? You would think he's turning long mid-range jumpers into threes, doing the smart, efficient thing that every big man has done in the modern NBA.
Tell me about his touch. Please tell me now.
Why would he? Why would he do that? Instead, he's shooting 38% of his shots at the rim now. He's down over 12%. He's not getting to the rim. He's taking almost all of his shots from floater range and long mid-range jumpers and a little bit of threes. And he is shooting piss from those spots. He's shooting his career worst 58% at the rim, down from 70. He's shooting 35% on floater range, despite that being where majority of his shots come from. Every time he gets the ball down low, he doesn't want to use assertive athleticism to dunk on people, to get into dunker spot ranges, anything. He wants to hit his flutter game, and he wants to be modern day David West, modern day LaMarcus Aldridge, do this little mid-range game where you get these tough shots off, because I'm assuming he thinks that'll help him have longevity as a scorer. He can do that for a long time and not be reliant on his athleticism. Makes sense in theory, but if you're gonna suck at those shots, I suggest you get down low and dunk that fucking ball, because that is what you're really athletic and really good at, and it is not going well with this soft-ass jump shot approach.
Yeah, tell him to be big and get in the paint. Let's please. I love that.
Put your shoulder in somebody's chest, goddammit. You are long. Use that wingspan.
Bam Adebayo, if I don't see a drop step a night,
Please.
Nah, I don't know. It's very weird because like we've talked this whole episode about guys who have had bad shooting seasons, but it's been from three. I can't remember off the top of my head guys who have like bad shooting seasons from the rim and they just like you lose your touch and then all of a sudden it comes back. So that low key is kind of worrying to me that Bam isn't shooting well at the rim. And like I don't have a great grasp as to like what like the pinpoint thing it is that's causing him to miss all these layups. I just know that every time I watch him, he's missing these bunnies.
Something I'll say is that the Miami Heat's offense in general is absolutely disgusting. Like they are one of the they try to feast when it comes to the mid-range game. 3-pointers, they've been trying as of late, and it's just not been working out for them, obviously, over the last few years, might I say. And so this team overall just sucks. Their game plan sucks. They're all in the mud. Eric Spoelstra is still, in my mind, he's worldly renowned as one of the better head coaches in the NBA. So far this year, it hasn't been a great display of that. And when he isn't on his P's and Q's and the shot diet is just not adding up in the big year 2024, and then on top of that too, your best player in Bam Adebayo, someone who's supposed to, take the reins from Jimmy Butler, isn't performing as well, it's a cooked product.
And I
have an idea what it is.
What's up?
What is it?
I don't know who Schrainer is, but I bet he has one. And I bet it's on some Drew Hanlon shit. And I bet he spent all summer working on pull-up jumpers, doing those hang pulls. And I bet he came into the season with that as a large part of his priority to get better as a jump shooter. Like I said, to prolong that longevity and build that out of his game. And when you spend all summer working on something, you want to pull that shit out in the game. And it's been just too much. He hasn't found that balance. It's okay to prioritize becoming a better shooter and working on that, but not at the detriment of your strengths. And that's been the biggest problem.
I ain't gonna lie.
As well as Miami Heat just having nobody to set up open rim shots for him. So he has to get it out of the mud and create the shots by himself. And he just doesn't have that type of skill set. He needs to be finishing pick and roll lobs and stuff like that to get to the rim. If he's creating face-up opportunities, he's going to be taking jumpers because he's not blowing by people.
You're setting us up right now because Drew Hanlon been on these internet streets fighting for his life the entire time. So
he saved Giannis. Shout out Drew Hanlon. He made Giannis a goon this year. Giannis is a mid-range demon because Drew Hanlon was in his bag.
An ounce of positivity. I love it. Drew Hanlon, we're not coming for you. In fact, I would like to get in the lab with you soon.
Yeah, let's get Mo right. No, maybe he should get in the lab with Bam. Apparently, Bam needs saving from his mid-range jumper right now. So Drew Hanlon, hit him up, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I agree. All right. Dude, I have a few teams here that are kind of irrelevant in terms of who's the most disappointing player. Few of them, I'll go ahead and just write them off. The Charlotte Hornets, how can I say anybody's really disappointing? LaMelo Ball's currently out with injury, and he's having the season of his goddamn life right now. If you want to say Brandon Miller is disappointing, cool. I think he started off a little bit slow, but really, signs are there. They're just a team that just has a lot of gray areas. He might be it, though. Okay, next team, the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls are the Chicago Bulls. No one has any real expectations for these players. Nikola Vucevic playing good basketball. Zach LaVine doing the same thing. Josh Giddey's being productive. Who is disappointing on this team? If you want to say Patrick Williams, cool. He's shooting like sub 40% from the field as a power forward. That is absolutely disgusting. No one cares.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's let this segment be the teams who don't have a clear disappointment, and let's speed run through these. I have the Spurs, who I think also don't really have a disappointing player. Jeremy Sohan got hurt. That sucks. That's kind of disappointing. Wemby has been fantastic over the last 15 games, especially. He's shooting over 40% from three on ridiculous volume. Not a disappointment. Chris Paul has been great for his standards at this point of his career. Not a disappointment. Harrison Barnes has been shooting the 3-wall. Not a disappointment. Vassell came back. He's been shooting the shit out of the ball. Not a disappointment. Like, things are going well. Maybe there's some bench players that fans are pissed off at. I don't know how they feel about Malachi Branham right now, whatever. But overall, I don't have anything to pinpoint for the Spurs.
Okay, nice. I think for me, the Cavs, I don't see anybody as being like a massive disappointment for the Cavs. Like I know D-Mitch hasn't been like, best shooting guard in the league. Like it hasn't looked the same. But I watched them, and I watched the way that they performed. I watched the way that he's playing, and it doesn't seem like a massive disappointment. So that's why I'm not going to give them anybody. And then for the Celtics, I put down Jaylen Brown, but I don't really feel like it's kind of the same thing. I don't feel like Jaylen Brown has been a massive disappointment. He isn't shooting the ball particularly well, but he's also doing some things better. Like Jaylen Brown's getting to the free throw line like 7 times a game, which is
It's huge.
Yeah, it's
Huge.
It's a massive upgrade. So you can either say Jaylen Brown on that. Sam Hauser, you got your whiteboard chain snatched by Peyton Pritchard. Like he's the guy now. Like maybe if you want to go there, but yeah, for the Cavs and the Celtics, there's really nobody on those rosters. So I'm like, yeah, you guys just thinking it up.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a speed run.
I got
Hornets,
another roster.
Bulls, Spurs, Cavs, Celtics.
I got another one.
One more.
The Brooklyn Nets. No one cares.
Brooklyn
Add them
Nets.
to the list.
Yeah. Everything's going well for these teams. Either well or to expectations. So it's not that we don't care about your team. Many of those teams are good. Many of those teams are interesting. It's just in terms of disappointing, nothing to say.
Yeah, exactly. None's really disappointing. Okay.
Which again, if you're ever going to get written off on an episode, this is the one. This is the one where it's okay.
Exactly. Don't be upset. Your team is either like met expectation or like no one's really has like
Or exceeded.
You could put the playing game on nobody. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
How many do you have left? I have 3 teams left.
I have a few more left.
Years.
I have a few more left, and a player that I want to talk about next
Okay.
belongs on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Again, it's hard to point to anyone being disappointing, but if there is one, he sticks out on like a sore thumb on one end specifically, and it's obviously Alex Caruso. His shooting has like been evaporated. I don't know what has happened. I don't know what juice. I don't know what like black
Suck
magic
his juices out. He can't fucking
like,
score
happened,
anymore.
but he can't score for anything. His offensive chops has like completely evaporated. Of course, like the passing
That
still
boy
there,
got
but in
sucked
terms
up.
of
Now he's awful.
okay.
I don't know what happened to him.
They done sucked Alex Caruso.
Alex Cruz, I did not.
So my
mean to
boy
say
got
something like that.
drained, man.
They done slurped his powers.
Isaac, I know you got the numbers for me. Do you have Alex Caruso's offensive stats by hand?
No, but they're bad, I'm sure. I'll pull them up. I'm sure they're horrendous.
I'm sure they're disgusting. Last time I checked, he's shooting like 20-something% from the 3-point line. And over the last few games, I'm sure they did not improve whatsoever.
Oh, 21% from 3,
Damn.
15% from the non-corner threes, 30% from mid-range, 62% at the rim, which is down a little bit, but not terrible. 41% overall effective field goal percentage. This is a non-threat as a scorer. That's what that is. That is a guy who is doing absolutely nothing for you offensively, at least as a scorer. We know he's a good passer and keeps the ball moving well. He's the guy that the box score never tells the full story of Alex Caruso, which maybe is a little bit of nerd cope, but he needs to shoot at least decent, at least average, or at least a little bit below average, not non-existent threat.
Now tell me real quick, while Mo's talking, Isaac, can you tell me or can you look up what Josh Giddey was shooting last season?
Dog ass as well,
don't
but
do
better
this.
than that.
Nasty. Yeah,
Better than that.
He shot actually well, quote unquote well, but those stats are so fake.
He had 52% effective field goal percentage, 34% from 3, and 60% at the rim. So below average from 3, opposed to nothing at all.
Different.
Granted, his defense is piss, and Alex Caruso is still an elite defender, so I'd still rather have Caruso. But yeah, this team, we thought they were gonna push fucking 70 games, win 65, because they had Ihart and Chet in the back, and Caruso as this lockdown guard adding to this team.
Their white boy rotation was dangerous. It was,
And sadly, those white boys have been broken. All those white boys have been sucked. Chet has his fucking pelvis broken. That's crazy. Alex Caruso's hurt now. Wasn't performing well. This team is still a 1 seed, but we're kind of being
They're
robbed
breaking
of an
white
all-time
boys in
great
OKC, man. They're breaking.
Nick Collison, your only saving grace. Please fix it. What has happened?
Get a split.
It's a little bit disappointing. It's a little bit disappointing that we've been robbed of this insane season. But with that being said, they will be fucking fine. Caruso will shoot better. The bigs will get healthy at some point. It doesn't matter. But what could have been historic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Okay, what's my next one? Next one I'll do. Mikal Bridges for the New York Knicks has not been worth 6 first-round picks. Woo! When this trade was happening, Donovan was hype. He was, let's go! New York Knicks basketball, Knicks tape. And I was like, I like it. I won't rain on your parade. But I think I told you they gave up a lot. I was like, this is a lot of picks that value-wise, it does not make sense even a little bit. It's outrageous for a role player. But I understand it because they're so close that you have to overpay to get over that, to hit that next little nudge to get to the championship level. It makes sense to overpay when you know that overpay will make you them. And it has been. They're the top offense in the league for the last 2 weeks. They're running it up offensively. They're good.
Number 1 offense in the league.
But now that we know they did the cat trade, though, it makes this trade look a lot less essential. Because we thought, okay, you overpay because you need a little bit of talent injection. You got it. Then you got it again with Cat. So it makes it seem like you maybe didn't need to give up all those picks for Mikal Bridges, who the whole selling point was that we can get his defense back to the levels it was with the Phoenix Suns when he was not just good, not just great, not just very great. He was 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting. You know how outrageous it is to be a wing defender and be 3rd in DPOY voting? That shit does not happen ever. He was amazing defensively. We commonly came up on the show and called him the best role player in the goddamn league. Then he went to the Brooklyn Nets, got a little big for his britches. He started taking a lot of shots, being the one option, abandoned defensive intensity altogether. And we thought maybe he would come back this year with a smaller role in the Knicks. We'd see some kind of hybrid where the offensive skill set he gained would make him better than that end, but the defense would return a little bit and kind of have him be even. Has not happened. Their defense is not particularly good when he was expected to be the guy to make it great. So that's a little bit disappointing.
Nah, man, I hate the Nets, man. Listen, I hate the Nets. They sucked up Mikal's D. Now he can't.
Everybody gets sucked up.
Now he can't stop anybody. What? It's ridiculous. I'm so upset.
Why did they suck up his D?
I hate the Nets, man.
Oh, yeah,
he's shooting 46% on corner threes. If he's in the corner and he's standing like this and he shoots it, it's a bucket. But if he shoots a non-corner three, it's a brick every time. 20%.
Unless it's a fadeaway. He's killing the fadeaways.
There you go. He's not getting to the rim at all either, which might be by design of the offense. A career low 15% of his shots. So he's been great for mid-range like he always is. That's been nice. That part has carried over from the development he had with the Brooklyn Nets. But you have to have the wing duo of OG and Mikal be great defensively for this team to win a championship. The fact that's never going to happen again. I think we can write off Mikal Bridges' defense. It's never going to come back. So this is a very good team that it's hard to imagine them hanging with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, man, I just don't want to talk about it. I just don't want.
All right, we can move on.
However, I'm gonna stay in my sadness a little bit because I want to talk about another guy who is near and dear to my heart. We're gonna talk about how Bobby Portis is one of the most disappointing players on the Milwaukee Bucks. And listen, over the offseason, I put him kind of high in our power forward rankings, and that was only off of vibes, and that was out of loyalty because I love Bobby Portis. And as somebody who's on the leadership committee of the Bobby Portis fan club, I have to do this to him. I have to let him know you're not playing well. But listen,
damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. I mean, the defense is just awful. It's just not. Yeah. Like he just can't guard anybody, and there's so many times where
the offense isn't there either.
Listen, nothing's there. Nothing's there. And if the Bucks weren't a second apron team who had limited resources to go out and get everybody and didn't have to go and find brand new, point of attack defenders and somebody who can cover up for Dame, they probably would have spent one of those assets on getting a Bobby Portis replacement. But they are stuck with Bobby Portis and they have to keep playing him. But if this was a serious team, he's unplayable. He's not like that.
Yeah, Bucks fans hate him with all their heart, and it's like comical because he used to be like a fan darling. And there's some games where he gets like cheered from the crowd at the game because they so love him. But people on Twitter are like, "What the fuck are you idiots watching? He's playing so bad. Why are you cheering?" Like,
yeah, he got
so much rage.
Yeah, he got cheered last night, and that's honestly the best part about the Bobby Portis experience because he got into some like scuffle. I forgot with who. I think it was with Ricochet. It was one of them light skins tangled up Bobby, and they weren't falling into the
Who's to
stands.
say which one?
Yeah, and they were falling into the stands, and then the whole crowd was like, "Bobby, yeah," like he was about to fight. That's the best part about the Bobby Portis experience at this point is that he might win the fight, and that's it. But as for basketball, it's not looking good.
You know what else is? Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't got shit to say.
No, okay, cool. You know what else I don't got shit to say about? The Philadelphia 76ers. They got no bodies. When it comes to talking about disappointment, bro, you could say Embiid's not there, not playing. What else was there to say?
Well, let's talk about
I'm gonna say Embiid.
Let's talk about that. No, let's not write that off. We haven't really referenced it. Let's talk about
I'm gonna say PG.
Okay, sure. Yeah, PG's
He is
a
the
fine
answer.
pick.
Yeah.
I think we might have reached the end of the Joel Embiid prime. I think that hasn't been confirmed, but it feels like we're getting to that point where the injuries are stacking up, and he's, just think about the timeline of what's happened. We referenced it in the past few episodes of how disappointing it is. He's out again. He came back, wasn't that good, went out again immediately. We haven't really unpacked the big picture thing here. He played in the Olympics, and immediately after, it was reported that he's dealing with an injury. Made it seem like he probably shouldn't have been playing in the goddamn Olympics, especially coming off of a playoff run where he wasn't healthy to begin with.
Yes.
As soon as that was reported, it was real quiet kept about how severe this injury is. And out of nowhere, before the season started, we were like, oh, he's actually going to miss the entire beginning of the season, and we don't know for how long. He comes back, obviously, after not having a training camp at all and being injured all summer, looks garbage. How could he not? He's coming back from so much rust, and he is a rhythm-based player. Then immediately gets hurt again, like 3 games after. When these players like this have these injury issues they fight through for their whole career, think about Brandon Roy, think about Greg Oden, think about Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, all these guys. I think Tracy McGrady is a good example where there's a few big injuries. It happens. They get robbed. They come back. They kind of rinse and repeat and get to themselves. Once they reach the end of this cycle, their body breaking down, they quickly get to the point where they're injured every 5 seconds and can't stay on the court. Same thing happened with Derrick Rose. He had 2 major ones, came back, and then like the 3rd year after that, every 5 seconds you're injured. I fear that we maybe reached that point with Joel Embiid, and it sucks because he was so underappreciated in his prime for all the reasons we've talked about on the show for years. I fear the era of domination might be over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's done. It's right.
That was a lot to say. I'm not going to go to that extent when it comes to
I'm scared.
Feeling like you're scared when it comes to his prime being officially over. But I wholeheartedly understand for all your reasons, good points. But I need to see him. Look, I need to see him on the court and I need to see the effects of those injuries genuinely slowing him down for an extended period of time. And sadly,
that's the problem. You're not going to see him on the court. That's the problem.
That's the issue. But eventually, whenever it does happen, maybe in February or when he's on the court on a consistent basis, and if he has like a 15-game stretch of just not looking like that guy, I'm ringing the bells of horror because at that point, like it might actually be over. And if it's over at that point, then like you have to look at, oh shit, we just gave this guy Paul George, who's like 35 years old, a fucking insane bag. And now the main hub of our offense and defense isn't even like that guy anymore. It's over. You're cooked. Now, they still do have Jerry McCain. Amazing. Love the vibes. Love the energy. Still do have Tyrese Maxey. Love the vibes. Love the energy again. Both together are bundles of joys. But the storm that Joel Embiid is, no matter how happy Tyrese Halliburton and Jerry McCain may make you, like they cannot like outshine what Joel Embiid is at all.
Yeah. Again, and I'm not saying I seen him be cooked. I'm saying I fear he is cooked, and I sense the pattern arising that happens a lot with players at this stage. He's 30. And I know we've seen a lot of guys have crazy longevity. We have not seen a lot of guys that have his size and his style of play and his injury issues have longevity. Honestly, him making it to 30, he's had a good run. And we're hitting that point now. He has for the injury issues. No, I mean, like literally, like the way he overcame those early injury issues and got like 6 amazing years. that's not a given. Yeah. Like if it's reached that point, it makes sense. Like we've had a long sample size that we probably took for granted as a fan base that spent those entire 6 years fucking slandering him for being unlucky. But I don't know if we're gonna see another 35 point per game stretch anytime soon.
if you hear the words "he's had a good run" culminated together, oh shit, it's fucking over, bro. There's no returning back at all. It's over. It's so over. I hope you're wrong.
Yeah, I might be being dramatic. Well, maybe it's not as serious, but when you said the Rockets thing, you said, what does that sound like? The writing on the goddamn wall.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some more writing over here in Philadelphia, and I don't like the way it looks.
Fear.
Donovan's hating ass been quiet.
I'm just letting y'all.
Let me
let
me give you a little bit more to hate about too. My next team, and I think this is my last team, are the Los Angeles Clippers. Same exact things going on over there. Of course, they're a much better of a team led by their defense, but there's no real conversation to be had other than like good vibes kind of going on over there because they're overcoming the obvious and Kawhi Leonard not being there, and the same exact vibes happening in Philly in terms of Embiid's happening over there with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. So it's just like the writing might be on the wall.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's been more on the wall for Kawhi than it has been for Embiid, and I feel bad for Clippers fans more so than Sixers fans, just because because they saw the run happen. Like they saw it about to happen. 2021 Kawhi Leonard is an extremely special player. It is at that moment, Kawhi Leonard was one of, like, I feel like he had ascended to another level, above 2019, and the way that he was playing in that series against the Mavericks, like that was extremely special. Also, that team got to the conference finals without him, right? They were so solid around him. If there was ever going to be a team that made a run, it was going to be that one. And so to see them have that level of team success and then have Kawhi Leonard be hurt there, that kind of sucks. And so that's why I feel bad for them. Whereas like for the Sixers, you never really had it. Like you never really had the dominant Joel series, the dominant Joel run like that. So I do feel bad for Clippers fans in that sense, but
you know what's funny?
It is what it is funny for the Clippers.
Last stream, we're talking about the Clippers, and I said I feel bad for their fans because I feel like I feel bad for the team because the team has gotten it out the mud so hard when they were in such a bad situation after Kawhi got hurt, and they just pulled their bootstraps up and just fought their way to the 6th seed right now, have been well above 500. I said I feel bad for them because these players are owed an opportunity to contend with a healthy Kawhi Leonard. I talk about how annoyed that makes me for their fans and how bad I feel for the players and the team and everything. And Donovan was like, I don't feel bad for those bitches. They deserve it. I know you woke up feeling better today because now you're talking about you feel bad for the fans. Last time you were like, fuck Clippers, fuck the fans, fuck the staff.
I say this.
Fuck them as a label.
I said that I feel bad for them more so than Philly fans. On a relative scale, yes, I feel bad. If we're talking about absolutes, I don't care about them, right? I don't, right? I don't. It is what it is. But because at the end of the day, they're both hanging on to a thread, right? That's all that they have.
Yo.
I feel bad for the Clippers. They deserve a shot. They are so good right now, and I respect them.
Yeah, I do too. Shout out to Ty Lue. He's one of the best coaches in the NBA. I don't know if any coach.
Shout out to Jimbo Harden. You better say the first name first.
Can go ahead and do this shit, bro. Oh, you said James who?
Harden.
I love that prediction that I made earlier this year. It's aging like wine. There's not a lot of my predictions that, in terms of James Harden looking like similar-ish and being like 50% of prime James Harden.
Yeah, he's definitely having a good year for what he can give people right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I have 2 teams left. One is the Pacers. I don't know if I feel the need to say it. We know it's Tyrese Halliburton. We've had many talks about his play this year, how I am done predicting him to become a top 5 point guard again. That ship has sailed. He has some good games as of late, some get-right games, but then they're always immediately followed with another 3 for 15 from the field game after. So there's some ups now. It's not just down, but it's very much still up and down.
It's the beds, man. You know what it is. You said it earlier before, too, like a couple weeks ago. It's the beds, bro. The hotels that they be having him sleep at.
He got a bad back.
Too hard in his back, man.
Okay, we know Tyrese Halliburton has been a disappointment for the Pacers this year.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it at length. The last team I have, though, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for them, I have Jaden McDaniels.
Tell us
Jaden
why.
McDaniels was paid big a couple summers ago. We all thought he deserved it. It was like, oh, good deal. You lock down your young 3-and-D wing who's looking like he's developing into one of the best role players in the league. He was looking like a little 2021 Mikal Bridges-ish. Didn't have quite the scoring impact, but we saw the skill start to develop. And we kind of said, I think he has the opportunity to take a big leap and get more on-ball chops, start to do more with that frame, do more with that defensive baseline, really develop. Since then, he has developed absolutely zero. The defense is, I'm sure, still good. He's not quite like a Herb Jones type of lockdown defender. He's a little skinnier, a little easier to push around by a Luka type, so he's not like the one-on-one lockdown. But he is still a very good defender. Could make an all-defense team in a year, whatever. That hasn't gone anywhere. But offensively, there's no real development. He currently has his lowest rim field goal percentage since his rookie year. He's not finishing well. He's 40% on mid-range, the lowest of his career. 30% from three, the lowest of his career. Simply put, we have to stop predicting that every promising 3-and-D wing that has a long wingspan and is below 20 years old, we have to stop predicting they're going to become stars. Because some of these guys can't really dribble. And if you're like Jay McDaniels and your handle isn't the strongest, you're not going to become a high-level offensive player. The development is going to stall out because you need to have a baseline good enough handle to create advantages. Doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen for him. He'll be great. He'll be a good defender. But the next level, I don't think it's coming.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, especially now that like Cat is not out of there and you bring Julius Randle in. You knew that you were going to play a different style of basketball, and you were like, okay, we're getting rid of Cat, we're getting rid of our spacing five. Even though that Julius Randle can hit the three, he's not a shooter like that. But we have Dante, and you were hoping we have Jaden McDaniels, and you can have enough three-point creation. And on top of that, when you add the fact that Anthony Edwards is going to take over 10 threes a game, yeah, we can live with that. But when Dante is shooting bad and when Jaden is shooting bad, it leaves your offense in a place of just like meh, and you don't really have any direction from beyond the 3-point line. So I definitely get that of why he's the most disappointing for them.
Yeah. Again, he's Jay McDaniels, and if you recalibrate expectations that he's just going to be a role player and like be a guy for your team, that's part of your core, but not like somebody you're looking to raise all tides. I'm sure he's okay. Obviously, he needs to shoot better from 30% from three. That'll come around. But I had a lot of stock in him really making a leap, and I'm just over that.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to these specific role players in the same archetype as Jaden McDaniels, I could always like look at another situation adjacent and be like, yeah, this is like the exact same thing going on, just in different cities. Keegan Murray, some people just simply buy too much stock into what this offensive player could be, whatever peak version of that, and they surpass what he is right now because of like the tantalizing opportunity and potential that they might have, simply because of the youth and the signs and flashes they're able to show once in a while, So we need to start looking at these young players, specifically wings, as what they are versus what they could be a lot more often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really feel bad about it. Could have been right. It wasn't. Sometimes it's a Mikal Bridges, and he does develop into an offensive player. Sometimes they don't. It is what it is.
Fair. All right. I got two teams left. I have two teams left. One, I have the Phoenix Suns. We are going to talk not for a long time, but Yusuf Nurkic. Hey, man. Yusuf Nurkic be pissing me off, too. I like, you watch him, and there are just nights where he just does not have it. He does not have it as a finisher. He does not have it as a defender. You can see it on the floor. Kevin Durant be getting mad at him sometimes, right? Making KD act out of character. And he's done some things to try and be, more effective. He's stretched out his offensive game. He takes more threes, but at the same time, he's 7 feet tall and he shoots like 50-something% from the rim. It's not great. And it's just him being there at the 5 limits them to a certain extent. And if they had somebody else there who can maximize either one of the skills, either be an actual like plus offensive player or a plus defensive player, the Suns would go to the moon. But that's kind of,
if they had Zubac, they would be on They could be in the finals if they had Zubac.
They'd be
Wow.
they'd be legitimately they'd be as good as the Thunder if they had Zubac.
I wouldn't go that far, but they'd be close. They'd be as good as Mavs. I'll tell you that.
I will say that if they had somebody who could actually defend the rim, yes, they would be that good. With
They'd be
with
hot.
this
Yeah,
with
I'm
this
not
with
mad
this
at
core with this core and the way that Budenholzer has them playing, and if everybody's healthy, granted that's a big ask because KD once again is hurt. However, power rankings, I would like that. But Yusuf, he's been cooked for a while, and it's kind of clear. And he has flashes. He has some games where it looks okay. Most of the time, he's not doing things the way that you want him to. And then my last team, the Dallas Mavericks. I'm going. He doesn't play a lot, but I'm going Maxi Kleber just because just because the Mavericks are once again in talks and trying to find like a backup four and another backup, big, and they've been trying to fill this hole for so long, and you've had this guy like trying to play in that role, and he's just not living up to what they needed. So now you have to go and make another deal and give up more assets to go and find this piece. So for me, I would go there. I thought about Clay. He's fine. It's it's not as great as you want, but it's
You
not
wanted to hate so
disappointment.
bad.
No, it's just like not. He's not as bad.
He's having a cold stretch. It is what it is.
Yeah, and so some of the stuff that he does, like his gravity still means some stuff to that offense. So even if he's not knocking down shots, or if he looks a little bit hesitant, that's something that I've seen a lot of Mavs fans talk about. Like his unwillingness to shoot the ball sometimes. He's still creating good looks for other people. So he's not a disappointing player.
Yeah. I think the Mavs, yes, by the nature of how glaring that hole is you mentioned, Kleber has to be it. PJ Washington is like their most important player right now besides Luka. When he's healthy, they're dominant. When he's not, that hole is exacerbated, and they just desperately miss that athleticism at the four on both ends. You got to get somebody behind him because at any point, he could turn an ankle, and your playoff run could be over because you can't win without him.
Yeah. PJ Washington's defense has been so good. It's been great.
What a steal, man.
And I think that's every team.
And I think that means that we are heading into TikTok time. The first TikTok time of December. Here we go, bruh. Let's do this shit. I'm ready. I just
realized you're wearing the hat because it's the first week of December. I didn't even like.
That never clicked.
You guys don't got no goddamn
Look at you, clever.
holiday
Look at you
spirit,
doing a little
bruh.
bit.
That's crazy, bro. I ain't even from this country. And
What? I'm
What?
big Christmas.
No, not really. I was expecting the Christmas tree or at least some lights for you, Isaac. Ain't nothing. I'm not even from this country. I don't even celebrate this holiday. And I got this hat on my head, bro. I do this for the real years out here.
Happy Hanukkah, whatever.
You're from Atlanta.
happy Kwanzaa.
Hey,
Happy Kwanzaa.
Shout out.
Let's go to TikTok time. Welcome to TikTok time. We're going to start with the draft.
Okay.
This time, we're going to do a draft of NBA players who never made the finals. I think in the past we've done who didn't win a finals, but now it's people who haven't even made one.
Never got there?
Never got there.
It
It eliminates some of the popular picks like, James Harden, Chris Paul, Barkley. They at least made it once or twice. These guys are
All right.
not even close.
That's
I got the first pick.
You do. The draft order is Donovan, Mojo99, me.
Oh, see, this is interesting. This is very interesting because I don't know where I want to go.
It is a tough one to the first pick on because there's a lot of good players.
Yeah, a lot of good players.
Now you're on the spot. You got to do it. Where are we going with the first pick of the no finals appearances draft?
Listen, man, you know me. Give me Victor Wembanyama first pick
With
at
the
my
first
center.
pick?
At my center.
Oh my God.
You're
All right.
shameless. Okay.
All right. Go for it.
I am put in the worst position in this draft. Easily. I don't know why I'm set up to be this way, but I guess the basketball gods never want to favor me, or the draft gods never want to favor me. Okay, so you got Wemby. Fine, whatever.
It's just Isaac. There's no draft gods. It's just Isaac.
Okay, so considering the lack of talent from this field, from this position right now, I need to get Joel Embiid immediately.
Fuck, I was hoping you didn't pick him.
Embiid.
No.
I need him on my team so bad. Mail him in ASAP.
Donovan, what the fuck? Why did you not pick Joel Embiid?
I don't want him on my team. What do you mean? I have a culture that I want to build. Joel Embiid does not fit into that.
You're disgusting. Get the hate out of your heart.
Whatever. No, I'm in a weird spot. I really thought I was getting Joel Embiid.
Mo,
This
can you
sucks.
answer this question? Why hasn't Joel Embiid been to the finals?
Because he hasn't even. How can you get to the finals when you haven't even made the conference finals?
Thank you. All right, Isaac, continue with your pick.
No, I think he has actually. But I lied.
Give me Steve Nash at point guard.
Makes sense.
That one's
Who?
easy. Give me Steve Nash.
Oh, okay.
Steven Nash.
Okay.
I assume his name is Steven. I actually don't know that for sure. And then I can go a lot of places with this. I can probably get him next time.
Clock,
I'm in a
clock,
weird
clock,
spot, man.
Clock. Shot clock. Shot clock. Shot clock.
I'm going to go double guard. Give me Shea at shooting guard.
Ah,
That was a great pick.
I
I was
like
hoping
it. I'm in a
Shea
weird
would fall
spot,
into
but-
my lap.
Yeah. I feel like Shea and Nash is a good fit.
Yeah, very different
Canadians?
players. Very different players.
Oh, double Maple. Let's go. I'm going to win.
Oh,
the
shout out to the
Canadians?
Utes out there, fam. Shout out to the Utes.
Smoke that fool.
Okay.
find out you got
You
bread.
left your mom's?
You left your mom's in the hood. Nah, you make me sick to my stomach, fam. It's like, girl, shut up. Shut up.
Use your real voice, goddammit.
At my point guard, I want Dame Dollar on my team. A Dame and Joel Embiid
Okay.
duo should, in theory, be great.
Theory can only take you so far.
All right. At my I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I guess I kind of messed up because I picked Wemby at my center. At my you know what? Let's just do it. We're going double big. At my power forward, give me Yao Ming.
Oh my God. I thought he was going to fall to me.
Ah.
This stupid ass team you're
7'5"
making
and
is fucking me.
7'6".
God
Yep.
God.
Both of them can
That
hit
is just
18 footers.
insane size.
Oh yeah, spacing.
Ah.
Now, at my 3, give me Carmelo Anthony.
Nasty
loser
ass
pick.
team.
Yeah, loser. Your team is disgusting.
Team makes no sense, but it's huge, so I'm sure it could be fun.
Your team
It's
couldn't even.
nonsense, though.
Yeah, nah.
I would
Your
love
team-
to play with this team in 2K. It's nothing. It's amazing.
I would hate to watch this team in real life. Everybody's on the block.
Okay. At my 3, give me Paul George. I like his defense
Okay.
alongside Dame.
That's a good pick. I was probably going to pick him. Oh, well, damn. I can't believe you took all the centers. Fuck. What am I going to do?
Yeah, he got all the centers. I love that Donovan lost. He's like, you know what? If I can't win, what are y'all
Exactly.
gonna lose?
Nobody. First of all, I didn't
Okay.
even lose. I haven't lost.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Give me Blake Griffin and where do I want to go with this one next to him? And give me George Gervin.
Blake and George Gervin. Okay.
You got me. You got me.
Blake and George Gervin.
You got me.
I have nothing if not bucket getters.
Okay. Speaking of bucket getters,
No.
at the 2, yeah, at the 2,
No.
go ahead and give me Dominique Wilkins.
No!
One of the greatest. What does Shaq say? Or whatever.
Oh no, I have to go back to the drawing board because I actually don't know what I'm gonna do because that's kind of everybody that I had. No, I thought I was gonna get one of them.
Yes.
This is very, very tough right now.
CJ McCollum is looking you in your eyes, brother. He's right
He
there.
really
You don't want
is.
the president of the NBA Players Association right there? Well, add to your team if you ask me.
All right, here's what I'll do. For my point guard, I'll take Derrick Rose.
Okay.
Yes, I would like that. I would like an MVP at my point guard. And at my 2 guard, once again, here we go. Got it. Give me Vince Carter.
Nice.
Vince Carter, okay.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. All right. So at my point.
Listen,
about
I'm
Dame,
GM of the year. I had to come off the dome with that.
You
You're
have
the number
0
one pick.
playmakers on your team.
Who's
Okay.
getting buckets? Everybody. Thank you.
So I got Dame, Dominique, PG, and I need a 4 on my team. Doesn't necessarily have to be a fantastic defender, but I'd like them to be playable on that end. Someone who could stretch the floor. Give me Lauri Markkanen. That man hasn't even made the playoffs. He's been in the league for 8 years, and he hasn't sniffed the playoffs, bro. It's kind of sad.
All right, well, you guys have the biggest teams in the goddamn world. I need a strong defender. Just give me Rudy Gobert.
Rudy.
He's getting killed by
Wemby?
He can't hang with Wemby.
All right, man.
He's getting body.
He got bent for Wemby in the Olympics. Don't make me turn this into FIBA rules. Rudy can't hang.
Oh my gosh. No,
Rudy's a demon in FIBA rules.
Yeah.
Rudy's a demon in FIBA rules. He can stand in the
Wemby
rim all
was
day.
cooking Rudy when he was 17 years old.
What do you mean cooking him? They're on the same team.
He saw one video of Wemby playing one-on-one basketball. Rudy.
In the workouts? Cooking him. You saw it.
All right, so I don't even know who won this. Like maybe Mo.
Go ahead and
his team
say
makes
me,
sense at
brother.
least.
So I'll go ahead and say it out first. I won this Crown Eaters. This was for you,
No, you
audio
didn't.
listeners. Shout out to you. Point guard, I had Damian Lillard. Shooting guard, Dominique Wilkins. At the 3, Paul George. 4, Lauri Markkanen. At the 5, I had Joel Embiid. Perfectly balanced.
I have Steve Nash, Shea, George Gervin, Blake Griffin, and Rudy Gobert.
I have Derrick Rose, Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony, Yao Ming, Victor Wembanyama. Oh, I'm killing y'all. I got it.
Let's go spot by spot. Who is the best point guard?
I got it.
Probably me.
Nah.
Are you
I
out
have
of
the
your
least
fucking mind?
accomplished point guard, but also like he's probably
Shut up! It's prime Steve Nash. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's Nash.
fake MVPs.
Who is the best shooting guard?
It's probably me.
Either
me.
Nick or Shea.
It's me.
I don't know. Shea might got him.
It's Dominique Wilkins. All right, it's Dominique.
He's the most accomplished because his career's over. But was Dominique's best year better than Shea's best year?
Come on, brother. Let's not drag this. Let's not drag this.
Who is the best small forward?
Me.
Is Melo better than George Gervin?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm taking that from
No,
me.
he's not.
I'm taking
No,
that from me.
he's
I'm taking that from me.
No, he's not.
I'm taking that from me. I'm making
No,
an
you don't get
executive
small forward.
decision. I'm taking that.
When it's
Nope,
all said and
nope,
done,
but
is he
you
even
do-
going to be better than Paul George?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut
And
up.
George Gervin I can accept. PG, shut your fucking mouth. Power forward. I mean, so realistically, Wemby's your power forward. So I guess Wemby's better than Lowry and Blake. Actually, no, is Prime Blake still better?
Well, actually, no. Let's keep it here because I'll take Yao over Lowry and Blake, and I'll take Wemby over Embiid and Rudy.
Wemby's not better than Embiid. Get the fuck out of my face.
I'm taking that.
You're disgusting.
I'm taking that from me.
All right, man. That's the end of the draft.
I got the best team fit. Let's go.
Is that what we're
Yeah, my
drafting
team
for?
fit.
Who fits the best? I have bucket getters.
This is team
All right.
basketball, bro.
Does
what
my
I
team
have.
fit well or terrible? I can't decide.
It's
The George Gervin pick, I had to pick the best player, but that might mess up the fit a little bit.
I
It
think
works.
Rudy and
It works.
yeah.
I mean, I think it probably does work. I don't know. Blake's got to kind of be a stretch forward, which he's not going to like. But if he can knock some threes, it'll work.
Should be all right.
Next thing we're going to do our tier list for this week. And for this week, we're going to start our yearly cycle of putting every position into a tier list. Today, we're going to do 15 of the 30 starting point guards of 2024-2025.
Okay.
We've done this for 2 years in a row. We give it a couple months or about 20 games into the season, and then we rank the standings of the most relevant guards and, really most relevant players at every position.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
I
go
like
ahead and do
this.
this.
So let's start with the point guards. Let's start at the top. Where are we putting Luka Doncic?
S. He hasn't
S.
been like healthy Luka Doncic as we've seen, but it's
He's heating up now.
yeah, he's hitting him now. I think Luka is one of those players that you have to account for him getting healthy earlier in the season. He has to play in shape and
Him
his
getting
S-tier.
in shape.
Yeah,
He starts slow every year,
There
but
you
we
go.
know he's still a top 3 player in the
Got to
world.
run off all that hookah.
It's bad for his lungs.
All that Patron.
All
Exactly.
that nicotine.
It'll be all right.
That'd be fine. That's October Luka.
You remember that one video? I think it was when they won the Western Conference Finals, and
Oh, yeah,
Luka
he had the
Doncic had a
beard.
beer in his hand, and then I think Mark Cuban or someone like took it away, and he was like,
It
"Ew,
was,
what the fuck?"
it was Michael
It's like,
Finley.
dude.
OG.
Oh,
OG Michael Finley.
It's hilarious.
Okay. Let's go with another big dog. Where are we going with Steph Curry?
Also S tier. I'm not. I'm never. Stop it. I'm never dropping Steph Curry below S tier until he starts looking like LeBron. Then I won't drop him below S tier.
What? Looking like come on now.
What do you think Steph Curry's averages are right now, Mister?
I know what I watch, and I still see greatness.
He don't even crack.
You're watching. I'm missing missed layups.
What are you talking about right now?
I'm watching Steph Curry look like he's really struggling to carry the ridiculous load they're asking of him, which isn't fair.
Oh, my bad. my bad. I forgot. Who is he playing with? Oh, yeah. Pajemski, Kuminga. Buddy Hield had to get hot for a couple games. Thank you to Andrew Wiggins for coming to save Steph Curry. Put that man in S and give him his respect, please.
22 points per game. 22 points per game for Steph Curry.
I don't care what the numbers say. I see him and
he's looking like LeBron.
I say
they both look like they took a step back.
That boy nice. Put him in S tier. Stop it.
Mo, what do you think? What do you think, Mo?
Steph clearly is not on Luka's level right now. I don't want to say
Pretty
ages
clearly.
catch up to him or whatever, but he's not at S tier. He's probably going to be an A, maybe B, depending on who we want to put him.
B's ridiculous. B's ridiculous. I'm not
B?
going that far.
So let's put him in A.
Cut your mic.
No. He's still amazing. He's just being asked to be this number one option like 2022 where he carries all the offensive load. And you said, until he looks like LeBron. He looks kind of like LeBron. He can't handle that offensive load either. They're both looking old and need more help than they have.
He'd never missed 24 straight layups, 24 straight threes, whatever the best.
He might miss 18.
Layups.
No, the problem is he just can't take as many shots as before. He just can't quite get there. There's been some fourth quarters this year where his legs look cooked. He looks like he's struggling to get through that high usage. A is fair.
Y'all hate it.
No, we're not. Telling the truth.
I don't want you guys.
being real.
Listen, at next week's Steph Curry fan club meeting, I don't want to see you guys there. Security
You
will be
locking out
called.
my key card? What?
Security
Am I
will be
allowed?
called.
All right. Okay. I'm going to get in there. Trust.
Where are we going with
Break it in.
LaMelo Ball?
Ooh, he's an A tier. He is an A tier.
I don't know about that. He might
What?
be B.
Get out of here.
He's great. I mean, he's averaging 30. The volume is crazy, but I don't think he's better than Steph Curry or on the same level. Even though Steph Curry can handle the usage, we know the awful impact. We know the playmaking he brings. We know all the other stuff. LaMelo is still a worse defender than Curry too. I think we should separate them.
I'm sorry. I have to go A.
Yeah, he's
I
all
think
right,
never mind.
if the
He's
Hornets
A tier.
didn't have
Fuck it, he's dope. A tier it is, I guess.
if the Hornets didn't have LaMelo, they wouldn't be anything. They already aren't great, but LaMelo he's
was
at
gonna
least
say.
doing something.
I guess. They're like the 10 seed when he got hurt, for sure.
This guy does not respect buckets.
9
does
seed,
not
LaMelo's
brother.
awesome. You were just fucking crying a new one for Steph Curry not being S tier, but now I can't say that there's a difference between LaMelo and Curry. I feel like that's a bigger gap than Curry and Luka.
I don't know. I think the aggressiveness that we've seen LaMelo take in this year, and with how many buckets he's been getting, he's keeping them brothers afloat over there in Charlotte. I think he deserves A tier. We could move him and B
listen,
though.
I'm not gonna-
We can be flexible with it. I'll work
No,
with you. We
you-
can be flexible.
No, we won't.
You guys
we
want
won't
A?
do
You can have
that. We won't do that. We'll keep it.
Okay, so if LaMelo's A, where does Trae Young go?
We'll probably
That's why
be-
I'm saying we got to be flexible with it right now. That's why I'm
Probably
saying we got to
B.
be flexible with it. LaMelo's been better
Okay.
this season. I mean, yeah, LaMelo's been.
He
better
has
than
been,
Trae,
but has
for
he
sure.
been? Okay, whatever. We can do that.
This is
Trae Young
crazy.
and B makes sense. He's on a cold ass shooting stretch right now that'll probably get better by the time you're watching this in a few months. But right now he's playing at a B tier.
I can agree to that.
You know what's funny? I think when we did this last year, he was also really low because he started terribly, but he came up. I think when we did this last year, he was like C tier, but he ended up recovering. So I'm sensing a pattern.
Hopefully Trae Young can get back to what Trae Young does. But right now, yeah, he's not playing as well as the other three.
Yeah, that's fair. De'Aaron Fox.
She's playing.
He's not.
How's it?
It's
See,
tough.
this is hard. I guess he's
tough.
on the same tier as Trae. Trae might be at the bottom of that tier. De'Aaron may be. Well, I don't know.
De'Aaron
Moving
Fox
mic a
is
little bit.
back.
The focus is messing up again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
De'Aaron
just move the mic
Fox
a little bit.
is back with his superpowers in terms of like finishing ultra well at the rim, not shooting as efficiently with the 3-point shot this year. But it's hard to say. I wish there was a space in between A and B and put him right there because he's been better than Trae on this season objectively, and I think we're giving
Just put him
Trae
in
a
B.
lot of grace right now. So we can put him.
We'll just put him in B, but we'll know like De'Aaron is at the top of B, Trae's at the bottom.
body.
I don't think there's a big gap between LaMelo and De'Aaron. Why aren't they in the same tier?
I mean, one has like I'm giving LaMelo a little bit of credit for the carry job that he has to do every single night.
De'Aaron Fox might actually have to be in the same tier.
You say that he's not carrying them to a 3 seed. Why are we giving carry credit? Like they're where they should be. They're mid.
De'Aaron Fox is special. He might need to be. Ooh, this is so nasty, bro. He might
carrying the Charlotte Hornets to mid is hard.
No, it's not. Their roster isn't the worst in the league. They're where they should be. I mean, if you want to keep LaMelo in A, that's fine. I feel like De'Aaron should be right next to him.
Yeah,
so you want to drop LaMelo into B?
It's either we drop LaMelo or lift up LaMelo.
Yeah, you pick whichever one you want, but I think they should be together.
Fine, lift up De'Aaron.
I'm cool with that. De'Aaron, welcome to A tier.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, James Harden.
See,
he's wildly inefficient.
Don't care.
He is unloading the clip and carrying that offense though, which is hard.
I do not care about James Harden's efficiency right now because it's not like in the gutter. So
it's not hellacious.
Yeah, so anything above that is fine considering the offensive talent around him. I'd give James Harden like a B. If we're grading off of expectations, I'd put him in A.
Oh, okay. A is too much for sure. But I understand in terms of expectations. So B is fair because in terms of inefficiency, he's having the same exact inefficiencies as Trae Young, a little bit worse to start off the year. I'm fine with putting him in B because like he's carrying that team with all the playmaking duties and shit. He's fairly B.
Yeah, and they're actually a really good team, so I think they actually deserve carry credit for keeping that offense afloat and letting the defense win games. So, for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go with Jamal Murray?
D.
2024 Jamal Murray.
D. This is
That's a good sound effect. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've seen Jamal Murray be as high as like B or A in a playoff series, but it hasn't been consistent. It hasn't even been infrequent. We just really haven't seen a high level this year.
That was years ago. I don't think we will ever see Jamal Murray get back to that level. He is in D tier.
When Jamal Murray
chasing ghosts right now.
When the Denver Nuggets
goes to playoff past.
It's over. He's cooked.
When the Denver Nuggets won an NBA championship, folks were telling me Jamal Murray is better than Trae Young. Jamal Murray is better than Darius Garland and all this other shit.
He was.
He was not. He wasn't lit. He was just having a moment. It was just a moment.
Okay, now you're hating. Playoff Jamal Murray was real. We don't got to pretend that didn't happen just because it's not happening anymore. That shit was
He's
real.
not an all-star. He was supposed to be one, though. Put him in D. Who's next?
For now. We'll see. Maybe he'll come back. We'll see. Where do you want to go with Darius Garland?
A sweet prince.
Very comfortable.
Darius.
He is not C. Are you out of your mind? He's definitely B.
He's been
Trae
good.
Young at this level right now. Darius Garland has been probably better than Trae this year.
You know what? Just for that, drop Trae Young into C.
Get out of here.
Fuck Trae Young.
Get out of here.
You ruined his rep. But Darius Garland's been on the same level as Trae Young. I feel very safe saying
I agree with that. I think Darius Garland should be B.
Trae's a better passer, but Darius has been the far better scorer, especially off ball.
Okay, fair.
Listen, he kind of locking up too.
He's better than Trae Young.
You saw him guard Jason Tatum just one time in the post.
Listen, man.
Hey, he did a good job. He did a good job.
He did his job.
Okay, where do you guys want to go with Cade Cunningham? Averaging 23 points on pretty good efficiency. The turnovers are a problem though.
I think he clearly hasn't. He's not the same caliber player as Darius, Trae, or James Harden as of yet. Too careless with the ball, and you can't be a high level point guard and not an elite passer, but still careless with the ball. Those three things.
He's been 9 assists a game. His passing is legit, but the turnovers are a bit much, and the efficiency has to be a little bit better to make up for it. So I'm cool with C for now, but he's on the up and up.
Yeah.
I won't be shocked if by the end of the year that stuff normalizes and he's looking like B.
I hope so. That would be great for him.
Yeah. All right, Fred VanVleet.
He's been solid.
He started off horrible to start the year. He was
that's true.
Chucking shots. He was looking like Drake hooping out there, actually shooting like Drake. But he's come back around.
But he's okay now, and he's very serviceable. He's doing Fred VanVleet things. I think I would still go D though. I don't think he's been as good as Cade, especially considering his slow shooting start. I'll go D.
Yeah,
he's just not the same level of player at all.
Yeah, and D makes it sound bad, but these are all good players. So even like D is still like above average. I didn't include any terrible point guards.
This is all top 15. ish.
Yeah, exactly. These are good people. Okay. Ja Morant.
Ooh, see, I like the way Josh been playing. I like.
He's changed his game a little bit. He's not as aggressive of a scorer anymore.
The man said he doesn't want to dunk anymore.
Yeah, he said he didn't even want to dunk
Fallen
anymore,
soldier.
bro.
R.I.P. the highlight reel.
Oh my god!
But he's passing out of his mind. The passing's the best it's ever been. He's at 9 assists per game. Even though the scoring isn't as high, it's because he's not taking as many shots. He's a better player though. Still A.
Yeah, bro. A lot of people don't know this, but he's going back to his old college playing days in terms of his playing style. Super talented as a passer, and he went away from that because he saw that he could the advantages in the NBA are insane, but the trade-off isn't worth it considering the injuries that he's accumulated over the last few years. Yeah. He's 18.
Now, if he starts to dunk
defenders
again,
wanted to draw charges and hurt him. It was ridiculous.
If he starts to dunk again, S tier.
He doesn't want to dunk though. It's not coming back.
They don't want him. They don't want him to start jumping.
Mike Conley.
F.
Damn. No other words. Just put him in F.
I'm sorry.
Don't say anything. Eric. Don't say anything. Just put him in F, Isaac. Please.
Okay.
Respect our elders. Thank you.
The lips are sealed. Jalen Suggs.
Hooper.
Ooh, this is fun.
Best defender on the list, that's for sure.
Can we put him in B? Or is that too much?
No.
No.
He can't be in B.
We could put him in
No.
We could put him in D or maybe C if you want to be generous, but the shot making really fell off after Paolo got hurt. It was a crazy start, but that lack of that extra attention is getting to him a little bit. So probably still D, but the defense is outrageous.
Yeah, D is fantastic for him though. D is fantastic. Jalen Suggs, top 15 point guard in the NBA. Sign me up. That's all they need.
You could put him next to Cade if you want. If you want to go see
best defender on this list by far. And you want to put him in D.
All right, let's go Jalen's. I mean, look, D is good players though. Fred VanVleet's good.
Yeah,
we can go see though. I'm fine recognizing Jalen Suggs' defense, and the offense has made strides. I'm okay with it. But it looks crazy next to Cade Cunningham because everybody is biased towards lead offensive players.
Yeah,
and people have such a bias towards that because the guys that dribble a lot. And while offensive value is important, so is defensive. So I'll accept Jalen Suggs and see.
We might need to revisit that. We might need
No, we don't.
Where do we go with Chris Paul?
D maybe.
He's had a good year. Good year for his old man standards. So
yeah, if he was playing like a regular old man, he'd be with Mike Conley in F. But again, he's better than that, so we'll put him in D.
Yeah.
Is he better than Mike Conley?
Yes, he definitely is. Mike Conley's shooting shit from the field.
Yeah, he is. He has had a rough shooting year. But I mean, is Chris Paul as good as Fred VanVleet?
You didn't have to say that about Mike. I thought we were respecting our elders.
Shit! God damn it! You're right. My bad.
Chris Paul is at 10 points, 8 assists, running the offense smoothly.
Double
or above expectations. We can go D.
Yeah, positive.
If you are 39 years old and you are under 6'3", if you have 8 assists, I'm rounding that up to 10. I'm giving you that credit. He's averaging a double this year. Yes, D.
There you go. And last but not least, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
Mr. Orr.
S-tier. Ain't nothing else to be said. Simple as that.
Luka's better, so Luka might be the top S tier for sure. But Shai's better than the guys that are in A. We got to give it to him.
Yeah, I agree.
S tier is for MVP candidates, the guys that could win an MVP in a year, and Shai's in that.
He can win at any moment. I agree.
All right, so let's go through this list to see what we got to revisit. The comments are yelling at us right now, like they always are. Luka and Shai in S tier. That's fair. We don't got to change that. Steph, LaMelo, De'Aaron, and Ja in A tier.
I'm with that.
I guess that makes sense. If you say Steph is number 3.
Yeah.
Steph's the 3rd best point guard. Ja Morant's the 4th best point guard. And if you want to say this year LaMelo and De'Aaron are 5th and 6th, that makes sense to me.
I like that. I don't think A tier needs to be changed at all. I think it's perfect.
Yep. B tier, we got Harden, Trae Young, and Darius Garland. So that's 8, 9, 10. Or 6, 7, 8. That makes sense to me.
Sure. Yeah, okay
yeah,
fine.
Trae Young 6, Darius Garland 7, Jimbo's 8.
Okay.
And granted, we don't have every point guard in the league on here, so there's probably some other people that would be top 10 we're forgetting about.
Yeah.
Kate, I think this tier list is fine. I think we don't got to change anything.
We don't. I'm good. Once again, another perfect tier list by TD3.
People are going to look at Jalen Suggs and Cade so crazy, but completely different players, but they're both special in their own right, but they're not stars. B.
I will not
So think C
apologize
is
for
right.
loving Jalen Suggs. I
Exactly.
don't care. His defense is amazing, and I won't feel bad about it.
So go lock up. Go try to get a bucket on Jalen Suggs, and you come back to me and tell me how your experience was, and then we
You're
can,
not gonna like it.
and then we can start talking.
We're not gonna have a good time.
Dummies.
I was wrong. This tier list
That's
might
into
be
that
perfect.
tier list. Next thing we're gonna do. We obviously do a lot of guessing games. I put you guys through the ringer, having you try to guess teams, guessing players. You've done all these different variations. And last week we did a mashup of all the guess the players where we combined a bunch of faces. It was crazy. Today we're gonna do a mashup of all the formats we've done from guessing a team. So I'm gonna show you the team graphic we always show you. And before we've done colleges, 2K overalls, heights, flags, all that shit, you're gonna get a hodgepodge mix of all of them.
Okay. Shit, let's try this shit, man.
It's not even a category.
So
Can you
creative.
guess this NBA team?
So creative.
I know. Look at that. First off, which team is this?
Okay. A is a bastard. The point guard's a bastard. He's mad as hell for no reason. Calm down. Holy shit. I feel his energy through the screen right now.
Yes. All right, but the
mad.
four man went to Kentucky, so we have to start talking. We have to start thinking about the bigs who have come out of Kentucky.
Okay. So there's Julius Randle went to Kentucky. Who else came from there?
Oh, we'll look at everything else. I don't have to focus on Kentucky. Talk to everything else.
Now we have to lock in on Big Blue. We have to lock in.
Yeah, that's the easiest. 79 overall, and who's mad at that point guard?
Angry?
Who's aggressive? Who's angry? Who's just sick of shit?
I mean, Chris Paul is always yelling. I know Fred VanVleet just got he just got fined for yelling at people.
Ooh.
But it's not though.
No,
It's
never
not
mind.
because the center is American.
Yeah,
So-
you're right.
Jabari Smith is a war eagle.
Yeah, he went to Auburn.
So I'm trying to think
Damn.
of these colleges. Normally I feel like we're pretty good. I feel
Who
like
are
you're
these
pretty
79 overall wings?
good. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, I think I have.
Who is this mid?
Yeah.
Please.
This is so weird. I think we're in hell right now. But is this the New Orleans Pelicans?
You know it's not because Zion went to Duke.
But he's not even starting though. He's not playing. We've seen exactly one game of Zion probably.
Are you guys cooked? Is it done?
No. We are not cooked. We are not cooked.
You better get that last guess in.
We
It's
are
looking
not,
like
we
you're
are
cooked.
not cooked yet.
79 overall 3. Who the hell
Yes.
is this, bro?
We have to think. If you think about teams like the Clippers, the Lakers, the Suns, just Western Conference. It's not the Blazers. Please, help me.
Yeah, I think this is fried for me.
Oh wait,
Time's
is
up.
it the Dallas Mavericks?
What a buzzer beater. This is the Dallas Mavericks. That's Luka's complaining ass at point guard. PJ
Okay.
Washington at power forward.
I sold this so hard when it comes to Kentucky, bro. I sold this so
Wow.
hard. 'cause
I was
they-
about to
they
make you
suck-
throw in the
stick out
towel
like
and
a
you got it
sore
last
thumb, bro.
second. Look at that.
They stick out like a sore thumb. Fuck, I forgot. Okay, thank you.
One of
Donovan,
one.
for saving
One
us.
of one.
So Wilmer Brown, you got more to come. You guys can bounce back from this terrible show. Next up, which team is this?
Dang Kentucky dudes, man.
Another Kentucky guy, and you got the 12th pick.
Who are these
12th pick,
Kentucky wings?
88th
these
overall
Wildcats?
center. And then we got a brick wall. Noticing. Brick wall.
wall.
And you got an 88 overall center. This is one of the best centers in the entire NBA.
And
I
when
don't know if 88 overall screams that, but okay.
Yeah, he's one of the better centers.
it's
Oh.
hard to be.
I know who this is.
Oh,
Ah, man. 88 overall center. That screams to me that you're okay. 12th pick, you're an okay player. Brick wall, I don't know what that means. But this is the Miami Heat.
no, it is not.
Oh, my God.
It's not remotely close to Miami Heat.
Dang.
I don't even know what you're getting at.
Bam
He
Adebayo
kinda
got
got
8
you.
overall, and that is not. And didn't Tyler Hero play for Kentucky too?
But understand, there's mad.
I got
Kentucky
you.
guard-
This is the Sacramento Kings. There we go.
No, it's not. There we go.
Is this the Oklahoma City Thunder?
This is the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that is Cason Wallace, who's currently the starting shooting guard.
Okay, that's a threw it off. Okay.
The brick wall is Lou Dort's sturdy ass.
Yep. Dorsey
Okay.
Chambers.
Sabonis would make sense at 88, and I assume that Oh man, that cooked me. Okay, yeah,
We got Mo in a blender. Next one. Which team is this?
This is all sleepy.
Oh, it's the Utah Jazz because we don't like them. We don't watch them. Nobody cares.
This is not the Utah Jazz, but you were close. This is specifically tailored to Donovan.
The Clippers. I don't care about them.
This is the Los Angeles.
Yeah, we don't care about them.
God. Hate prevails again.
Death, taxes, Donovan hating the Clippers.
We can't avoid them.
Ivica Zubac is very impressive to me.
That's good.
Next one. Which team is this?
The GOAT. What is that? What is? It's just a
It's
brown
a color
circle.
of someone's skin.
Browns.
Nah, you're a wild boy. You're a wild boy.
Brown. Okay, that could either mean like, yo, that's your last name, or
You're a wild boy.
okay.
I'm throwing off. I'm sorry. I'm rattled.
Okay, this is crazy.
All right. So we have an American, the 14th pick in the draft as the 3.
Oh, I got this in a heartbeat. You have to realize who made
Been a few heartbeats.
who made this graphic. Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
What is Isaac known for out of the three of us? Glazing. Who particularly? Who's his GOAT? Nikola Jokic. Noticing 14th overall pick just a year ago. Michael Porter Jr. Christian, what's his last name? Not Brown, but Braun. Ooh, this is the Denver Nuggets.
This is the Denver Nuggets. That is Christian Brown as a shooting guard.
Great pick.
The white Brown.
Great pick.
Yep.
See,
it's pronounced Brown, not Brown.
Finally, because I had the first
Oh
two.
shit! There we go.
Now we're
That's funny, I
even.
got
Now we're
it.
even.
Yeah, there you go.
Death,
Listen, I
taxes,
had to show
Donovan
respect to
hating
the one and only.
Clippers, and me just butchering words.
There we go. This is the Denver Nuggets. Thought that one was easy. Next up, which team is this?
Ooh,
Okay, a USC
I know
forward?
this in a heartbeat. There's not that many USC guys in the entire NBA. One of them is Bronny James, but I fear Bronny James does not play the power forward position.
Not
I know
even
who does
close.
though.
No, you don't.
I know who does. I know who's the 5th pick overall for this team too. And those long arms, I know length. I see length from anywhere. Length coming from all sides and angles.
A length spurt.
Yes.
Who is this?
This screams to me that this is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell on his length.
There we go. That man got length for days.
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Nah.
We out-meted Shay.
Oh my god.
we just did.
You just can't take. You
It's
can't
fine. We
contain
can admit
yourself,
it. We can admit it. All right, man. Last one. Which team is this?
What is that? Is that maple syrup? Yes,
Mm.
sir. I feel so old squinting
I know
at
what
this
this is.
screen right now.
Come on, Unc. You got this. Help me out, Unc.
It's a maple syrup. What is that?
Okay.
I got this in a heartbeat,
Hennessy?
too.
Time out.
That
What?
flag is a dead
What
giveaway
flag?
too.
What
what's-
flag is that, Mo?
What's the flag?
I-
What flag is that?
I know. I see this flag and I know this player. I don't know why.
Name
but
the
I just
country.
do.
Tell me the country.
I can't even
Is
name
it
the
dead
country. I
giveaway?
can name the player, bro.
Name the player.
This is Jakob, and this is the Toronto Raptors.
Correct. This is the Austria flag and
Boom.
Jakob Poeltl's team, the Toronto Raptors.
There we go.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
hilarious.
know
see
flags.
Austria. I don't even see Austria. I just see the flag. I'm like, oh, Jakob Poeltl. That's all I think about, and I carry on with my day. Basketball has contaminated
crazy.
my mind.
And there you go. You guys got through them. Only one loss. Okay. Actually, no. Donovan clutched up at the end, so no losses.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Undefeated, never lost.
Big ball of bread.
Next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a blind ranking. I haven't done one of these in a while. I kind of forgot about them for a bit. But I'm going to have you guys blind rank some NBA championship teams.
Okay.
So you guys know how it works. Blind ranking 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Rank them blindly and the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Who's the first team?
First of the 5 teams, we got last year's Boston Celtics.
See, I'm good putting them at 3. Honestly.
3?
Yes, 3. Because I understand. I understand what the numbers say. I understand what the stats say. But I also know what my eyes watched. And I know that there are other championship teams that are better
My eyes
than
watch
them.
dominance.
You, sir, are a Glazer, and that's why you feel that way. I'm okay putting them at
I'm a
at
Celtics
24.
Glazer. What the hell?
You know what? Isaac already wrote it down. I've been outvoted. Apparently, put him in 3.
No, you can disagree.
I'll leave him at 3. If Donovan screws this up, it's because of that placement right there.
Okay. Next up, the 2020 Lakers.
The 2020 Lakers are not better than that Celtics team. Like, hold on. Let me not
Hold
say
on.
some
That's
statements that I
what I'm
don't believe in.
saying.
real
That's
quick.
what I'm saying.
That's a good debate.
Let's have a conversation here. Let's have a conversation.
That's close.
We're here for discourse.
Right? The fact that you had still a prime LeBron James, you had Anthony Davis as mobile and as
Who
much
could
of
shoot?
a real life ooter. The fact that you had those two guys, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma was out here hooping,
Danny Green.
playoff Rondo. You had a lot of guys on that team. They were the best team from start to finish. Their defense was amazing. I think that in that situation, I think I would take the 2020 Lakers over the 2024 Boston Celtics.
But would their defense be amazing enough to stop all those threes raining in? I do not know. I think their defense would be amazing enough though to do something to Jason Tatum and like prevent Jaylen Brown from having the series that he did. So I think I'm okay with that because their 2 best players can't fuck with the Celtics' 2 best players. So we could put the Lakers at number 2.
I like
Okay,
that.
2020 Lakers are at number 2.
Liskers?
I can't spell it all. I'm trying to do this while looking at the screen.
Yeah, put the 2020 Lakers at 2.
Okay. Number 3, we got the 2007 Spurs.
See, they could have went ahead the 24 Celtics, but this wasn't it's not the beautiful game, San Antonio Spurs. So we will put them at 4, but we respect Tim Duncan on this podcast though.
And this is when Tony Parker was a bucket too.
Yes.
Y'all don't respect Tony Parker. Me personally, I put him at. Never mind. We
You ever say put him at 1? Go ahead.
No, let's put him at 4. Never mind.
Okay. 4 is fair. I could see them versus Celtics going either way. Next up, the 2006 Miami Heat.
We can put them at 5.
Yeah,
That
they're
is
the
one
worst.
that is the most not the most, but there's a lot of context that goes into that championship, and we are putting them at 5.
So you're telling me Dirk is a choker?
I mean, he was. He was.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, shout out Dwayne Wade. Amazing young player in that year. Obviously the worst team here.
Easily.
Okay, now Donovan, you can make or break my entire list, depending who has a number 1.
Drum roll, please. The 1985 Lakers are at number 1.
Yep, we're good. We are good.
Has a perfect tier list been created?
I think
This is
so.
the
Has a
perfect
perfect
blind
blind ranking
ranking.
been
I think
created?
so. Well, yeah, as a blind ranking, I think we did the best that we could. If you want to put the 24 Celtics at 2, fine.
That's a real argument.
I disagree right now, but I do think it is a debate. But as
Yeah,
for
for a
1,
blind
4,
ranking,
and
this is
5,
great.
that's
No
fine.
flaws.
Yeah, I'm happy. We did it. I think this may be one of the first. We use our ass at this, so
That's true. Yeah,
pat yourself on the back.
we're
I
normally
believed in you, Donovan.
pretty bad. We're normally pretty
There you
bad,
go. So we're just comeback season. It's fine.
but we never
To
left.
be expected.
But we never left.
The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to have you guys guess who has all of these NBA all-time records. It's a little trivia game. I'm going to say a record. You should tell me the player that currently holds it.
Shout out Nerd Sesh. Let's get into it.
Chat.
There
I'm
you go.
cooked.
Shout out
Let's
Nerd
do
Sesh.
it.
First off, who has the most personal fouls in NBA history?
This has to be either LeBron or Kareem. It has to be somebody who's played a long time. I'm gonna go with them. And I'll pick one. I will go Kareem.
Okay. Okay. I'm going Kareem too, I guess. Fuck it.
It is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Makes a hella sense.
LeBron doesn't foul that much. A big man is always going to foul more.
It's because
So it's a good
LeBron
pick.
don't fucking try sometimes. That's why.
Yeah, centers, they're in the mix. They got to foul.
Yeah. Smart pick.
Okay, listen. I threw you a layup to start. That's fine. You got to get the ball rolling. Next one. Who has the most field goals made in NBA history?
Again, is this either
It's either-
LeBron or Kareem?
I think it has to be Kareem because LeBron had threes to make up to make up the space between them for scoring. So
we're mathing right now.
I'm gonna go Kareem.
Okay, Mr. Algebra. Yep, it is Kareem.
There you go.
Okay, I thought
There you go.
that'd make you overthink it, but it is Kareem again.
No, we passed basic algebra.
You know what I'm
We passed
about.
basic algebra.
Number 3. Who is the highest 3-point percentage in NBA history?
I got this. I think.
Go ahead.
Ooh, well, I got my bid. Is this Seth Curry?
You know what?
It's tricky.
Okay, so I have a couple names. I feel like Steve Kerr's name is up here.
It definitely is. It's top 3.
Yeah, I feel like Steve Kerr's name. Seth Curry wouldn't shock me. If Kyle Korver was on this list, it wouldn't shock
He's
me.
up there.
But I'm gonna put my faith in you, and I'm gonna trust you as my partner, and we're gonna go with Seth Curry.
Ooh, that was dumb as hell. Never trust Mo. It is Steve Kerr.
I know Seth Curry's top 5 though. Shit.
Probably.
Damn.
All right, next one. Who has the most playoff steals ever?
All right, so honestly, if we go playoff anything, kind of have to go LeBron.
I'm not going steals though. Can't go
Why?
steals.
Why? But if you're talking about somebody who's been to the playoffs consistently, like it has to be somebody who either was a steals demon or just has the sheer volume. And so like LeBron's gonna be up there.
Might be like John Stockton. I think he's
a
a
good
good
pick. Played a
answer
long
for this
time.
too.
You think
Played for
Stockton?
hella long. He led the league multiple times. He's up there all time in steals. So I think John
He's number
Stockton
one.
might be the I
All right, we'll
think
go
he might
Stockton.
be the answer for this.
We'll go
We once again lose because we listen to Mo. It is LeBron
Dude,
James.
it's LeBron. What the fuck, bro? Sorry, go.
He went to the finals 10 years in a row. He's playing like 20-something playoff games every single year. He's averaging at least a steal a game or like point nine, whatever. Like
This is the only time that you'll ever see me believe in John Stockton. Never again.
There you go. He sold you for one last time. Who has the most points in Celtics history?
I'm gonna shut up, Donovan. You cook.
I mean, I don't know the Celtics like that. I guess the easy thing to say would be Larry, but Larry only played like 11 years. Bill Russell wasn't a scorer like
he
that.
wasn't a scorer like that at all.
We could say like Sam Jones, or I always confuse Sam and Casey Jones. I always forget that. But we will take the easy. Wait, but Paul Pierce played for them for a long time.
That is true. Ew, is it Paul Pierce? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a guess. I guess I'll go Paul Pierce.
Ooh, 3 L's in a row. It is John Havlicek.
Figured. Yeah, that makes sense.
I skipped an old. Look at you.
Had to be one of them.
Had to be one of them. Figures.
Typical.
Next up,
Of course he
who
did.
has the most sportsmanship awards?
I think I got this in the bag. I don't know why, but this got to be good old Unk over there in Minnesota. This is Mike Conley. This is a
This
new
is
award
Mike
too.
Conley. Why do you know that?
I don't know, bro.
Why the fuck do you know about the
I know
sportsmanship
random
award?
shit, bro. I don't know.
Is this a new award? When did they start handing this out?
Relatively. I don't even know.
Sometime in the last like 7 years or so. Mike Conley
It's listed on the
apparently a
official
great
NBA
guy.
website, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Adam Silver's NBA.
Sportsmanship.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Who has the highest field goal percentage in NBA history?
Has to be something stupid like DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Chris Paul, man. Holy shit.
Oh, he was a merchant.
Yeah. Did he make first team All NBA too?
Yeah.
He did. Shout out Lob City.
In the
Stone
dead
Age,
era.
bro.
In the dead
He was in
era
the Stone Age
of
for
centers.
real. And we were in a recession in the NBA back then.
He looks
didn't even know it.
Bro, he looks like Dwight Howard trying to be DeAndre Jordan in this picture.
like he's Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Playing John J. Jordan in a TV show. With professional hair and makeup.
He's on the FX show of the Clippers.
Yep.
FX got the movies.
What?
Nice.
You never heard that intro before?
I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Next one. Most playoff blocks in NBA history.
LeBron James. Anything playoffs, it's either, I guess for blocks, it's either LeBron James or Tim Duncan. And I'm going to go Tim Duncan.
I'd go LeBron, but I'll let you rock with Tim Duncan. Timmy D. Oh, he played for a long time too. Got to be Tim. Yeah.
It's Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Hey, Mo, anytime you have an instinct, go against it.
Yeah. No, I just kicked in like, oh shit. Yeah, he was an old man in the NBA too. Old ass man. He played for hella long.
Last but not least, who has the most steals in NBA in Lakers history?
Okay, so obviously Kobe played there for 20 years. We could go Kobe.
Simple as that.
let's go Kobe.
You could.
Go Kobe.
Mo, you agree?
Gotta be Kobe.
It is Kobe.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There we go.
Sheer volume.
Common sense.
Yeah. I thought maybe you'd overthink it by the end. But nope, it is Kobe Bryant. Okay, you guys should have done better, but you didn't do horrendous, I guess.
What you mean? We only missed like 2.
I sold us like twice.
And that's because I was listening to him. If it was just me, I would have done better.
Listen, man. I will never try to steer you wrong. I just happen to steer you wrong.
We got one more segment to do before we get out of here. You know, a few weeks ago, we did a game where I asked you to, I named 2 NBA teams. I wanted you to combine their players and see if they could beat the Boston Celtics. That was this year. You know, we talked about current teams. We're going to do that again. But you guys are going to combine NBA teams and see if they can beat the 2001 Lakers.
Okay. Kobe,
much
Shaq
harder.
At their peaks.
Combining.
How do we
NBA
upend the best duo of all time?
Okay, let's do it.
So, first teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, so we would have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Right? It's current, right? Current to be all
current.
time. Okay, so we have Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. At the 3, we need some defense. So
Just get LeBron. We have to get LeBron.
No, we're going current. We're going
What
current.
the fuck are you talking?
Oh,
Current Cavs, current Nuggets.
Okay.
So Garland, D. Mitch. Who are we putting at the 3?
Michael Porter Jr., I guess.
Are we giving Isaac Okoro the call, or are we giving Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. the call.
He's been shooting well from 3-point line.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
still plays better
We
defense.
are giving Michael Porter Jr.
Are we
the call.
putting Dean Wade? Are we giving Dean Wade the call? Dean Wade.
Hey, now we're talking.
Anybody, Max Strus, Sam Merrill, anybody but MPJ.
Is Georges Niang getting the call? Let me know.
Oh my god.
Let me know.
So MPJ in his tinfoil hat go to the 3. Obviously Jokic at the 5. We know the Aaron Gordon connection at the 4. Do we want to go there or do we want to go Mobley?
Mobley. I love his defense. I love his defense. We need Mobley.
I don't know though, because
Aaron Gordon fits so good.
if we had, because like imagine if you had Aaron Gordon, you could put Aaron Gordon on Kobe in some scenarios. Like if they start running some, like I would not.
Yeah,
feel
but he's getting
uncomfortable with
burnt.
that.
We saw
By who?
Edwards burn
By who?
Aaron Gordon on the consistent.
By who?
That
You
doesn't
have
mean-
2. No, but you have 2 guys. So like it's gonna be Jokic, and then it's gonna be you're gonna have Jokic who's guarding Shaq, and then you're gonna have D. Mitch or Aaron Gordon who can guard Kobe. Evan Mobley, if he tries to play Shaq, he's getting put in the blender. Obviously,
It doesn't matter.
Listen, it
He's
doesn't
not
matter.
beating the Lakers.
I need as
They
many
lost.
hands in
Well,
the
I guess
I need as many
Aaron-
hands in the rim. That's it.
But like Aaron Gordon is getting put in the blender as well. But he,
How do you want to get cooked by 20 or 30? You choose right now.
we can get kicked by 15.
Either way, they're not beating the Lakers. It doesn't matter.
All right, fine.
I believe in you, Evan Mobley. I believe in you.
Fine. We'll take Mobley and we'll lose by 30.
All right. Whatever.
Okay.
So we're on the way around.
Okay, next teams. The Warriors and the Celtics.
All right. Steph Curry
Cool.
Steph Curry.
at the 2.
Derek White.
Not Jaylen Brown?
Oh, we have a lot of
Put
options.
him at the
bro.
3.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to go Steph Curry, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Draymond, KP?
Ooh.
Hey, last year Celtics plus Steph Curry,
Listen.
that might beat the Lakers.
Listen. We may have done it. They
You think we've done it until Kristaps Porzingis had the weirdest injury that you've seen in your entire life, and then our whole game plan is thrown out the
Some
window.
shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Shaq step above the free throw line and do something to KP. Because if KP gets 2 wide open in a row, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and Shaq has to come out and defend Steph Curry and KP from three. It's a lot.
And if that's our starting lineup, as long as we have 5 guys on the bench who are ready to use all 6 of their fouls against Shaq, I'm okay with that.
Just come on.
We'll bring Luke Cornett with this as a 6-man.
Yeah.
Foul Shaq.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Cornette and
We're going with this
TJD
team.
will be on the bench, and they can use their fouls.
There you go. Okay, next one. The Bucks and the Thunder.
Bucks.
I'm going
and the
Shea.
Thunder.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going Shea.
We're going Shea at the 1.
I like that.
I would like to make J-Dub be able to play his natural position and put him at the 2 or 3. Don't make him play power forward.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. Hold on. We don't want to put like Dame at the 1 and then Shea at the 2.
No.
I don't think you need both.
I feel like you.
I think
I
you
feel
want
like
more
you
defense.
have to pick one, especially because you know we're getting Giannis, so you're not gonna have this this crazy perimeter guy at like 4 or 5. He's not gonna provide you that level of spacing. So I'd go Giannis at the 4.
So we're obviously going to go Chet and Giannis to have that crazy fit. We're going to put Shea in there. J-Dub at the 3 or J-Dub at the 2? We can put J-Dub at the 3. Then who do you want to put next to these guys?
You guys are doing
Alex
Dame so dirty.
Caruso.
You guys are doing Dame so dirty.
I just
my
don't.
gosh.
I just don't think at this point in time.
You want to throw Dame in there? You want to go Dame, Shea, J-Dub, Giannis, Chet?
Dame, Shea, J-Dub, Giannis, and Chet is the best lineup to me. I don't think. Listen,
Fine.
That's a lot of
fine.
ball handlers.
It's.
Tell
I
Dame to
feel
be
like
in
I
that
just want
corner.
to
You
shoot
wouldn't
it.
mind.
He
Yes, he
clearly
would.
does. He
He'd
clearly
mind it so much.
Listen,
he's
tell him to
clearly
shut
upset.
up because we're trying to win right now. All right, it doesn't matter. We got Shea, an MVP caliber player, and we got Giannis. It doesn't matter.
Clearly, he doesn't vibe with the already MVP candidate that's on his team. Do you think that adding another one would make him be like, yeah, I'll stand in the corner?
So
If
you
we-
want to put Alex Caruso and place him, or
by
Casey
that
Wallace?
logic, give me Isaiah Joe, give me Aaron Wiggins. If we just want somebody
Okay,
to
either
be
way,
in the
does
corner,
this team beat the Lakers?
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I think
We're missing
they're
the point here.
Probably
Yes.
losing. I can't say that.
well,
I can
it
say
depends.
that.
Are we putting Dame at 2? Because if we put Dame at 2, then we're losing. We put Isaiah Joe there, we might win.
Isaiah Joe versus Dame.
Shout out Isaiah Joe.
I'll put Isaiah J. Okay, anyway, let's say they lose.
Yeah, so,
We're getting caught up on these niche arguments that are not the point.
yeah. Dame versus
Who's
Isaiah
guarding
Joe.
Rick Fox? I need to know.
The 2020 Lakers plus the 2020 Miami Heat.
Ooh.
So what?
So
it's like
not
playoff
using
Rondo?
anybody but like Jimmy and Bam. That's it.
Yeah, Jimmy and Bam onto the 2020 Lakers.
So we
So-
got
So you got
LeBron.
Bam, AD, LeBron, Jimmy, KCP.
Oh yeah, because Bron's playing point. All right, yeah, I'm with that.
That beats the 2001 Lakers?
Yes,
Mm,
2020
Jimmy was-
Jimmy Butler.
yeah.
2020
special.
Jimmy Butler. Yes,
2020
Special.
Jimmy Butler was looking like Kobe himself. It was crazy.
Yeah.
but that added on to LeBron and a
Yeah.
shooting AD. Yes.
Ooh, yeah, I need that. And AD and Bam's defense.
Ooh, yeah, I need that.
Apparently it's easier than I thought. Apparently. All right. We'll give it to him just because Mo needs that shit.
You don't
Mo was like
understand. I was just
stroking
standing there salivating, bro, over imagining that.
Say, oh, if that brother had a couple more inches, don't get me
Whoa.
fantasizing and salivating. Have you never seen that Stephen A. clip?
No,
Oh my god.
never.
I forgot
Not
who
top
he
of
was
mind.
talking about.
I hope it's real and you.
If you're
just start
still here,
flapping your gums.
this is the end of the episode. Comment.
No, it's
Ooh,
real.
I need that shit.
True.
Need that hashtag. Need that.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all next week.